Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Costog Questions. I'm sorry it's been
10,000 years.
yeah, it's been a hot minute. But glad to be back, and hopefully we'll be back into full swing of doing streams with Sarah and guests. So I make no promises on that one, but thank you everyone. Yo, Kaze
Me
Photography, thank you for that
too.
sub. Um
Hell yeah.
and Pyrofly, thank you for that raid just right before we started. For those of you who do not know what Costog Questions is, this is a stream where the four of us are going to be deep diving into some different cosplay photography, and nerddom in general discussions, talk about them. We'll do that for the first hour, and then the second hour or so we'll be talking about we'll be answering questions that you guys have from chat. So it's the general format. I'm still playing around with it, but more or less that's how it's going here. So welcome in everyone. Special thanks to let's see, we got Aara Lee and I Am Photography, or LA, for joining us. Appreciate you guys for coming to hang out. LA is a photographer from Florida, and then Aara is a cosplayer from New York. So love having the diversity. Diegus, thank you for that $5 dono, man. Appreciate it, my
Already?
dude.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, we're trying to work our way up to get some sub badges. I've been playing around with some ideas for sub badges in my head, and it was funny because the donation goal got like totally screwed up because of when I did my charity stream. Alexandria Lee donated $200, but she accidentally donated it to me instead of the charity. We got it worked out, but like I forgot to reset it for a couple streams, and it was like totally off. I'm just like, oh yeah, we're like $200 above what I was trying to aim for. That's not right.
So basically what Andrew's saying is you should donate because
Yes.
everyone knows that you need more BL emojis. So
Oh my
say.
god. Yes.
And doggos.
Yes. The doggo emote is one of my favorites. I
The
love
best
that one.
Obviously.
That's the one that I probably find myself using the most on other streams. Do I watch other streamers with dogs a lot? Yes, I do.
I don't think it'll let me send. I think I sent too many.
Oh my god. No, you didn't have any spaces. Jesus.
Doggo. You just look like a maniac. I'm surprised I'm not getting banned. There we go.
There we go. Killing it.
Look, I don't know how to use the internet. I have that quarantine brain. There's nothing left up in this
quarantine brain.
So LA, why don't you tell the audience just a little bit about yourself?
Hi, yeah, my name is LA, like the city, but I'm from Florida. I've been doing photography since 2010. I started doing cosplay photography around 2011. 2011. I was like, does that sound right? But yeah, I mean, I've been doing that since then. I'm also a streamer here on Twitch. I cook on stream. It's no big deal. But yeah,
yeah, it is.
His streams are wonderful, and you should watch him. Hahex, thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate it a ton. I kind of want, like, whenever I have LA on, I kind of don't want to do the message. I just want to like defer to LA, be like, LA, hit him with that Prime message.
Did you know that with Amazon Prime, you can get one free subscription if you link your Twitch account? Every 30 days, subscribe to your favorite streamer for free. Just link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and share your support to your favorite streamer.
Bless you,
So
LA. Just so suave.
I use my dad's Prime account to subscribe to Andrew.
There you go.
I also mayhaps use my parents' account to sub to me, maybe.
Same. So it's fine. It's fine.
Aara, why don't you tell the lovely people a little bit about yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Aara. I'm a cosplayer that specializes in green characters. No, that's just coincidence. But I really like writing and Nintendo. And yeah, hi. I've been cosplaying for, I don't know, 10 years now. So
Man, I kind of feel like if you've watched enough of these, you've seen Aara. Like we've had her on enough now.
A lot. Yeah, if you guys don't know who Aara is, you're missing out.
We just need excuses to have Aara back on.
My tech mishaps, at least.
You haven't turned us away from you yet. I mean,
Don't
I think the worst tech mishap we had was when with Mallow. I think that was the worst one we had.
What happened with Mallow? I can't even remember.
It was like when that was back when we were still using Skype.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
And whenever we connected with her like audio was just like, wee!
Oh my god! Oh my god! It was like a nightmare.
Yeah,
so bad.
It was just like, this isn't right.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay.
So I think we started that stream like 25 minutes late because we were just like, what is going on? Why does this not work?
I mean, they never go super smooth anyway, so it's to be expected.
Hey, that's part of the appeal. Actually, that was like
what
I had to I accidentally borked something in OBS, so I had to spend like a couple hours, and I used it as an excuse to like fix some things that I wanted to change with the format, but at the same time, I spent like 2 hours working on this earlier today. That said, got a green screen now. This is my first time
wow.
doing a stream like this with the green screen. So look at us. We're fancy now.
It's super clean.
So fancy.
Oh, I never thought. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I didn't just paint the wall behind me green. Who knew?
I honestly wasn't paying attention. It's fine.
Yeah, it'd be like.
Can you make it whatever you want? I don't know how this works.
Yeah. Oh, that's magic. I love that.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the new fanciness there.
Can you put yourself in like a volcano or on the beach?
Yeah. So
Can you put yourself in the Costog gazebo?
That's amazing. I should do that for a stream at some point. It was great during a couple Zoom calls that I was on. I had like a playthrough of Super Mario Bros. 3 on in the background. Ooh. And just like pretended like everything was normal, and people would just be like, great.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Just like I didn't mention it, just pretended like everything was normal. I think it's not a green screen, it's teal. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so thanks guys for hanging out. I'm glad that we're finally back in a full capacity here. Life was a little crazy there between I was finishing up with school, and then as soon as that finished up and I finally had time, I was like, Sarah, you want to stream? And she's like, I have this huge project coming in at work. And I'm like, of course it would work that way.
Oh, it's still happening.
I'm sure.
I'm literally on my work computer right now in case something pops up.
In case you're like, oh, fuck.
It'd be like that.
All right. So a couple housekeeping things before we jump into it, because it's been a little bit. If there's any guests that you'd like to see on the stream, just shoot me a message. I have a form for the critique for guests there, but I don't have one set up for this. I probably should do that, but I don't. It's not a thing yet. So just shoot me a message if there's anyone you want to see on. I am in the process of making a Discord channel for the stream, and honestly, like it'll be just like a cosplay photography Discord channel in general. I expect to see that within the next week or two. I don't have any guarantees as to when I'm gonna get it up, but it'll be coming soon. And then if you enjoy the stream, please consider subscribing or donating. But if you don't have the means to do that, just tell a friend. That helps a lot. Let's jump into things. So the first topic we are going to talk about here is expressing creativity in isolation. Goodness knows that a lot of us have we're used to expressing our creativity through cosplay or cosplay photography, and those outlets are either not available to us at all or in a super limited capacity. Clearly, quarantine and the pandemic has put a huge damper on those ways of expressing ourselves. So I feel like most creatives, our urge to be creative doesn't just disappear. It is something that, like, it's almost like an urge that we need to get out. And it was funny because we were talking about this before stream, and it's like interesting the ways that it's manifest where we haven't even thought about it. And Yeah, so I want to talk about the ways that we've been expressing our creativity in 2020 and how we've been finding outlets to channel that creativity. Cam, too, thanks for the follow. Anyone want to start off?
I can start. Because I want to be, like, super real, and I think people who follow me on social media have probably seen this spiel before already, but, like, quarantine has made me, like, super depressed creatively. I literally have no energy to do anything, to be quite honest. Like, I was so ready to, like, make a new costume for Fanime. Hell yeah, Naruto
Yeah,
headband already.
Wolfie had that Fighting Dreamers reward.
Unbelievable. Yeah, and basically when quarantine hit, like, all that creativity just completely, like, or motivation, I guess is probably a better word, just left my body. It just didn't exist anymore. And I think also, I mean, this is gonna sound like such a first world problem, but you know, I'm really thankful that I get to work from home, but because I work from home, like, I'm literally in my apartment like all day. Like, I rarely leave. I try to only go out for necessity, so it is kind of sad to just constantly be in the same space all the time. So usually by the end of the day, the last thing I want to do is anything extraneous, because, like, keeping up working from home is hard enough as it is. And like I said, this sounds like
Totally.
not a big deal, but, like, I know when first of all, I'm really bad about working from home. Like, I can't concentrate very well. Like, some people really thrive off of working from home. I hate it because I like interacting with my coworkers. I love my team. I love my office. My boss is great. Like, I miss that. And so when all of that is taken away from me, and also there's no routine to my day. So it's kind of like all this shit was, like, disrupted. So, you know, I felt like I was and I still feel like I'm in this creative rut where I don't do anything. But honestly, I mean, I think I brought this up on the last stream, but, like, my first creative outlet has been Animal Crossing, which sounds really stupid, but
Hey.
I mean, that game came out at the best time possible. And for me, and also, like, you know, you can connect with friends, like, even if you're not talking to each other, like, you're on each other's islands, you're fishing or whatever.
Mhm.
And decorating for me is really hard. I don't understand it at all. So it's a nice creative challenge, and it's really served as like a stress reliever, but also like a creative thing, which I honestly didn't realize that it was a creative outlet for me until, like, maybe like a couple weeks ago. When I started tearing up my entire island. It's fine. Yeah, so I've been doing that. And also, like, cooking. I've been cooking a lot more, which is great. You know, obviously you don't eat out, so you're encouraged to cook from home more. I do like to support locally if I can, but I made Cindevu tonight for the first time, and it came out really good. And I've reached that embroidery stage of quarantine. I haven't really shared anything yet because I'm really bad at it. So, yeah, I think it's hard though. It's hard to find creative outlets, especially when cosplay and photography were such a huge part of my life, and now they're kind of not a part of my life anymore. That sounds really sad now that I'm saying it out loud. But it's true. Like, I don't sew, I don't edit
Mhm.
photos. I literally have not opened Photoshop really at all during quarantine. I've made a couple memes. I'm sure some of you have seen it on Twitter. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's tough, but I think the important thing that I've learned is to not let that discourage you. Like, just because you're not doing something that you're used to doing doesn't mean that you've lost your love or your passion or like necessarily your creative spark for that thing. It's just for now it's kind of on hold. And I think the isolation part will do that to you. And that's okay, honestly, I think, in these circumstances. So that's what I got. TLDR.
Who's up next? Who's got thoughts?
There was a question in chat that asked if Animal Crossing was difficult to get into if you've never played it before. I have never played Animal Crossing before. I jumped right in, and it explains everything. Sometimes it over-explains, so if you're the kind of person that likes to skip the tutorial steps, you're gonna be like mashing the button, like stop dialoguing at me.
It's a game.
Self-explanatory.
It's a game that's aimed, I feel, at younger children, but is enjoyed by anyone. And I think coming into it, understanding that context makes it a little bit more helpful to get like why it's appealing, or like kind of some of the design choices they make. But it is super duper easy to get into. Like you won't be questioning anything. Well, you might be questioning some things, but it's not because it's hard to understand. You're more like, why did they do things this way? Weird.
Some of the things are a little weird, but you know, whatever. It's Nintendo. They're not exactly savvy when it comes to user experience. So
interesting. My little thought there is, I actually think everything is super thought out in terms of user experience, but it's because they want to slow you down. It's user experience that is difficult because they want things to be slow intentionally. So
yes,
it's like one of those hard things where it's like, yeah, it's you know, if you look at it from a standpoint of like of traditional user experience, it's very bad in a lot of ways, but like their goal is to make things slow. This is a game that's supposed to last you like years and years, so they don't want you shotgunning it. So
and that's like a misconception. Like I mean, because Animal Crossing came out during quarantine, like people just like blasted through it, which sounds weird because you never really beat Animal Crossing, but there is a point where you get where you're like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? But like, I mean, it's like you said, you're not supposed to just kind of like blast through it. Like, I remember like in the first couple of weeks of quarantine, people would be like, oh my God, I'm so bored. Like, what am I supposed to do in Animal Crossing? And I'm like, I mean, you're not bored necessarily, or that's not how you should view it. You should just view it as like you're done for the day. It's not meant to be a grind. Like, I mean, I play every day, but I play like
an hour, maybe, or two.
Like a couple hours, unless you're tearing up your island and you're time traveling and all that shit.
I think the thing that you have to realize with Animal Crossing too is it's not going to be for everyone. Like, I know for me, like, it's a game that I have, like, my wife bought it and she's enjoyed it a ton. I would not have ever purchased the game if she hadn't already owned it and like I had a spot on her island, and I've had fun with it, but like it is not a game for me. Like, I wouldn't go out and buy it even after having played probably a total of like, 15 hours. Like, it's just not my style of game, but I kind of like enjoyed being part of the conversation, and just the overall zeitgeist around Animal Crossing has been fun to participate in. But like, if it's not for you, that's it's not a bad thing. Like, it's a very specific game. So
I think it's fun when you find your little niche, like when you find the thing that makes it yours. And I know a lot of people do that with their island design choices. It can be thematic, it can be based on a different game. Like, I know that Sarah has her island named Hyrule and is making a Kokiri forest and Link's house inspired situation. And I think that makes it special. I became obsessed with bugs just in Animal Crossing. Do not confuse it. Bugs in real life are still a bit of a problem for me. But in Animal Crossing, they're so freaking adorable. Like, okay, in Animal Crossing, there's not a lot of like, there aren't any pets because like your neighbors are, your furry friends.
Which is
that'd be weird.
The hamster's still a pet.
And you can buy like a cat tree, and you're just like,
if you had a cat neighbor,
Oh my
if you had a pet cat, your cat neighbor might be like, "What is going on?" So,
Right.
but regardless, the pets that you get to have, I really like animals and pets. Beyond just my neighbors, so you get these like little bugs, and they have little cages and little fish, and they have tanks, and they're cute. That's
I
it.
caught the dopiest fish the other day. I think it's called the sunfish or something. Oh boy, what a derp.
The bugs. I became obsessed with commissioning Flick for all of the bug statues, so that was my thing for a while,
Who is you?
and then after that, I was just like, okay, I'm good, and I've been good for a while, so haven't really picked it up.
Except for the bug catching contest, you picked it up.
Oh my god, yeah, obviously. I was like, who do you think I am? This is a joke.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun. Okay, so passions, quarantine, isolation, sadness.
Yeah.
That's our topic. So cosplay for me is a hobby that I engage with to socialize with my friends and to travel and see them and go on these adventures. And all of that is not possible. So the parts of cosplay that I love are inaccessible. And as a result, I haven't really engaged with the hobby. And that's okay with me. I realize that I'm not really in this hobby for internet interaction, really.
Mhm.
I dress up because I want to collaborate with other artists as cosplay photographers, for example. Hello, all three of you.
Those
And,
nerds. Ugh.
That's my favorite part is the collaboration and the friendship and the parties. And none of that is possible. So I haven't really been cosplaying, and I'm totally fine with it. I have a lot of things on the back burner, wigs to style, stuff to fit, but it hasn't been a focus. My creative outlet has been gardening, and
In real life, by the way, not Animal Crossing.
true. In real life, still very similar. And I have a lot of fun channeling my creative eye into pot composition and that obsessive, like when you sit down and you sew, it's a little bit obsessive and nitpicky. For me, not for everyone, for me. And I feel like the way that I treat my gardening beds is very similar. The weeding and the tweaking and the deadheading of flowers and all of those nitpicky nurturing things, that's really satisfied that itch that I have from not sewing and crafting.
Cool.
So it's been fun. And other than that, I feel like I'm catching up on media that I had on the to watch list. Like every single thing that someone's like, you should watch this, and you're like, yeah, I'll check it out. Like you just never do. I've been trying to tackle that.
We can definitely
Ooh,
dive into
like,
that
what
a little bit
stories
later.
what series have we gotten into over quarantine? I've just been rewatching things. That's fine.
I'm rewatching Haikyuu.
That's totally
obviously.
I mean, obviously.
It just gets me so excited. It hypes me up, and that helps me feel excited about cosplay again, because while I can't socialize or party, I can at least feel connected with a character. That's another favorite part of cosplay.
Call me.
Yeah. I'm working on Nishinoya from Haikyuu because, like,
oh
I gotta get that done.
Well, I'll bring back Hinata just for you.
You be Hinata, I'll be Noya, and we'll just go.
Oh yeah! Oh my god, it's so stupid. I'm ready.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it.
LA.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I like. I feel like I was just. It's funny. I was just looking at my Lightroom and seeing this massive gap in which I have no photos. Like pretty much, I've barely taken any photos in this gap from like March to now. I'm just like, dang, like before it would be every month I'd be at like a convention or something and be like, I'd have photos I'd have to do, and right now there's nothing. So I've been like, what I've been doing is like going back to like older sets and like re-editing. I'm trying to learn new photography like styles, because like that's the big thing I wanted to work on this year, is like getting better as far as like, or not necessarily better, but just doing things differently. as
New
far as
things.
editing is concerned. Yeah. Um,
That's cool.
and it's funny. I have raws that go all the way back to 2010. So I'm
Oh
like
my
looking at
fucking
like
God.
old photos and being like, ooh,
That's a
what
mood.
can
That's
I
a mood.
do with this? But again, like I haven't been able to shoot anything. I've done a couple like FaceTime shoots where you like
Oh, you have?
yeah, I've done a couple and it's been
Hmm.
fun. It's been interesting. Um I'll pull some up later on. But like the other like otherwise trying to like orient my like creative outlet. Like I've been getting really into fountain pens and writing a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Wait, like
I've just
calligraphy?
a bit. I'm trying to get more and more into it. I've just
Well,
bought
I
like a
took
bunch of freaking
calligraphy.
inks and stuff.
Did
So
you find
I took
yourself a
calligraphy
pen
for
pal?
4 years. So, just let me
okay.
know.
What was that,
Let me know.
Ara?
Did you find yourself a pen pal for all of your lovely writing?
Well, I just bought a bunch of stationery.
That's what wax seals are for. Oh my God, I love it. I'm
You
obsessed.
got
I'm
the wax
obsessed.
seals
It
and
all
I'm
fountain
it's all
pens?
coming
obsessed.
together.
And
Oh my God.
I just bought wax seals for these envelopes.
Yes.
So, so
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I love
if
stationery.
anyone wants to become a pen pal, I'm down. I hope you can read
Okay,
my
so you got wax seals, you got fountain pens and ink, and now you have to raise a carrier pigeon.
And
Complete
you need
it.
to make your own paper.
Yeah.
I make my own paper.
Yeah. Duh. Don't you know how to do that?
We're just gonna
Uh,
continue this down every logical rabbit hole.
I'm so excited. I love calligraphy. I
Yeah.
love handwritten letters. Oh my God, I just got really excited.
that's been my outlet recently.
That's
Like
so
writing
exciting.
letters
I
and
love
like
it.
writing in general, and yeah, because like I'm stuck. I'm like here, so I'm just like I'm just gonna whatever. I'll just start writing. And I've been writing letters to friends every so often. So
Here's the question. Which lettering hand have you been learning first?
I've just been writing. I'm like getting slowly more and more into it. So I don't.
What
just,
kind
like,
of nib do you have?
I just have fine nibs right now, but I want a wider tip.
Can I
right now.
see?
Like these are the pens I have. Like I mean they're piston tips.
You gotta get. Oh, you should get these pens. I have it right here.
Welcome to our pen podcast.
Because they're the best. I'm gonna be like a makeup artist.
I need to get a wider
Please.
nib. I just have fines right now because like I was just like exploring inks.
You're starting with
So-
the hardest nib.
I know.
Why would you do that? Just get these. And you don't even need ink bottles. It's just a cartridge. It's great.
But I like inks.
I know. You really should get a wide tip nib first. Everything else will make sense. It's really
Yeah,
hard
okay.
to start with a fine tip first. Trust me.
Okay. All right. I will buy a wide tip right after.
I'll send you links.
Please.
I think that's like part of the thing with when you get into a new hobby, like I think so many of us just like throw ourselves into it and we're just like, we'll figure it out. We'll just buy this shit and we'll figure it out. And then you're like, oh, I did this wrong.
That's what
Oops.
happened with
Oh,
photography for me.
me.
So I'm just
It's like everything. That's like everything.
So when I first started getting into gardening, I bought a ton of annuals for the bed in front of my house.
Uh-huh.
And I had to turn the bed, flip it, so that the nutrient-rich soil would resurface and the hard topsoil where the plants wouldn't prosper could be chopped up. And so I was like, all ready. I got shovel, I got all my plants, my soil, whatever. And I go to put the shovel in the ground. And I was like,
God. Yeah, I know where
and I
it's
was
going.
like, oh my God. And I'm like jumping on this shovel, like slamming my foot into it. And I was like, oh, I didn't think this through. I can't get the shovel in the ground. So I'm like stuck. Like it's, 90 degrees outside. I call my uncle because I knew he was home quarantined. And I was just like, please, I need because Anthony was at work. And I was like, please come help me garden. I will pay you.
Oh my God.
And he was like, what did you think would happen? I was like, I don't know, dirt turned to like concrete.
I did the same thing when I was in high school. It's fine. I feel your pain.
It's a lot easier to plant flowers in Animal Crossing. That's what I learned.
I feel
So
your pain.
so I've found a couple things that I've ended up getting back into, or not back into. Some of them back into, some of them are brand new. Number one is I've been getting back into rollerblading.
Oh, nice.
I used to
I'm having like
rollerblade.
air gear thoughts. for
Yeah, I
rollerblading.
mean, air, air gear always made me mad because their rollerblades were stupid.
Are you gonna join a gang and like
Yes,
dominate the sky?
exactly. I literally tried reading some of the manga, but like as someone who rollerbladed a ton, like they're just like complete disregard to how anything in regards to rollerblades actually works just pissed me off so much that I couldn't. I was just like,
Oh,
no,
you don't use
screw
your
this.
rollerblades to kill people?
No, no. Um, no. The biggest thing is they would like do grinds, but they're like their skates would have like no place to grind on, and I'm like, but that doesn't make sense. But like you can't just do a grind without a place to have the grind. Whatever. I care about this way too much. Whatever. But no, I've been getting back into rollerblading, which has been super fulfilling. Uh, um, Action sports are like this super like weird thing for me, where they're not for me, but for I'd say for everyone. Like they're half like physical exertion, but then they're also a huge part creative. Kind of like some live somewhere between like a traditional sport and dance, and like I don't know. I just find it so enjoyable to get back in. I tore my MCL like probably
Ooh.
like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh my god, I thought you were gonna say recently. I was like,
No, no,
oh.
no, no. But that's
Bad
kind of why
timing.
that's why I fell out of it, because like
That's fair.
it took like a year for it to be good again, and I just kind of stopped. I'd go maybe like once or twice a year, but now I've been trying to go like once or twice a week. I've
Mhm.
also picked up longboarding, which has been super fun. Good luck if you want to get into longboarding. Good luck finding a longboard right now.
Really?
Oh, really?
They're sold out like everywhere. It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
wow.
I had to order. The only place I could find the longboard that I wanted, I had to order from North Dakota. Just like, okay,
A
sure.
random state.
Yeah, I know.
Thing.
It's just like, okay, sure. I guess I'll go to this random independent skate shop in North Dakota. I hope they aren't like just secretly ripping me off, and thankfully they weren't. Um, but then the other thing that I've really found as like an interesting like way to get the kind of creative juices flowing is I've been making leather belts. Um, that's been an enjoyable thing. I find like leather just like such a pleasant material that just like holding it and working with it is just super satisfying.
I'm scared to work with it, but I've always wanted to.
Yeah. No,
Because I feel like, once you mess up, you mess up like
yeah.
that.
I've kind of been trying to tell myself like, okay, it's my first few belts, like they don't need to look flawless. Like also like if I'm wearing them, who's going to be coming up to my belt like
Right.
that's not, and I'll be like, sir, could you get away from my crotch, please?
And you know how a cosplayer feels when someone says, oh, your wig is like 30% too yellow for this character. I'm like, okay, bitch, don't talk to me. But all right.
But yeah, I've just been finding it so interesting how like that like so much of us that are creative, there's just like this creativity that I feel like lives inside of us that like just needs to escape. And it's been interesting to find and talk to my other friends who are creative and have had their traditional outlets for that cut off, and just to see where we've channeled those efforts instead. Because I'm still photo editing, but like you, LA, I haven't like I've touched my camera. I haven't taken a photo other than a quick self-portrait that I needed to do. I mean, honestly, probably since January, February, because then I immediately got like bogged down with school, so I didn't have time to really do much there. And then this hit, so like I'm so incredibly out of practice with my camera. It's kind of funny. And I don't know, maybe this is just a me thing. I find that like with a lot of the skills that I've developed, if I don't exercise them often, they don't like fall to zero, but like the high point that I'm at falls quickly down if I give it like more than a handful of weeks without using that skill at all. I found what like go ahead.
And I even know that not decline, but sometimes just a skill stagnating can be pretty discouraging for creatives. But I think that a conversation I've been having a lot with my friends is just forgiveness, like allowing yourself during a global pandemic to relax and not suffer against that high standard that you would be meeting in normal life circumstances. Like these are not normal times. So just, I guess being a little more laid back about it.
That brings up an important thing that I saw, I don't know, it was like on Facebook the other day, but someone posted like an infographic about like what real self-care is. And I think the problem with our generation and like the generation like before us is that we're so driven to accomplish things and then output things as a result. And then if we don't see that physical result, we feel like we've like failed in a way. And I know I definitely felt like that for the first few weeks of quarantine because social media was a routine in my day. Like the reason I was updating so frequently is because I was taking public transit. So like while I wait for the train, I would upload a photo. And when I got to work, I would upload another photo or something. Like it became routine. But then when that routine is like broken, you're kind of like, oh, well, I'm failing as like a content creator. I'm not, giving what my followers are here for. And this infographic, and I thought I had to like keep continuing that momentum in order to feel like I was contributing. I don't even know like to what. Like what the fuck am I contributing to? It's fucking Instagram. No one cares. And this infographic, not an infographic, it was like a comic, I guess was a better way to put it. But basically saying like real self-care is taking time for yourself. Because I was viewing kind of like my really like low off days is like, oh, I'm just being like really lazy. I don't really want to do anything. But like some of the best self-care you can do for yourself is taking a seat back to just like relax. Like if you want to binge a show all day, do it. Like that's not a bad thing. Things right now are so fucked up. There is no what we were before all of this happened. It's not what we are anymore. So to kind of, you're basically trying to figure out like what is normal for you. And it's okay to like not accomplish anything. Like I remember in the beginning of quarantine, everyone's like, oh, I'm going to do all this shit. I'm going to learn like 5 languages and like take all these online classes and like learn all these new skills. And like, I had that same drive too, because I think that's what I thought like I was supposed to do in order to feel productive. But like just because you sit in your ass all day and do nothing, or just like I don't know, like the other day I like purged like half my closet. Like it doesn't sound very exciting, but like mentally it was
sounds so
because,
good.
Yeah, like,
I think that's an adult like older adult thing where I'm like, oh, that sounds wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Oh, just purging the
condo, yes.
It's like I think the problem is that like before quarantine we were so obsessed with like what we this is just my personal opinion, so like literally take this with a grain of salt. It's at least I'm starting to realize this. I was really attuned to like what do people want to see me do on the internet? Like I know they want to see my cosplay and I know they want to see my photography and like that's it. They don't really care about anything else. And then in quarantine, I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna post about Animal Crossing all the time. I'm gonna talk about shirtless Sylvain 24/7. Like, you know what? I don't even care. Like, it literally doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's making me realize social media is just is dumb. Is mad dumb.
It's
Just
hard.
relax.
Yeah, because like it's hard. I know for myself, that feeling of always working towards accomplishing is like ingrained in me. Like
Mhm.
I have
Same.
such a hard time just relaxing often, where I'm like, well, I could play this video game for like 2 hours, but like
Go do
also I
something
need,
else.
like I could do a little bit of cleaning. I need to get this done. I need to get that done. And then I don't end up playing the thing that I was excited about playing, like, or what have you. And I think that's something, as a lot of people our age tend to have that feeling a lot, and it's a hard thing to get over. I think the hard part is going to be is striking that balance, because like that inherent feeling of wanting to always be productive can be downright destructive at times, but like also can be super helpful. Um and it's you got to find that balance, and I think that self-care is when you can find that balance, when you are productive when you need to be productive, but you are able to let it go and actually let yourself relax when
Mhm.
that's a thing that you should do.
Yeah.
Um, any other creative outlets you guys have found yourself exploring in quarantine time?
No, but I do
Not
just
a
want to
Nope.
reiterate. Nope. I just want to reiterate, though, I think the common theme about what all of us said was that, like, it's okay to, like, not be doing the things that we were so used to doing before quarantine
Mhm.
happened.
Totally.
Like I said, like, this is a new future for us, basically, and I think quarantine is making us realize certain things. Like, you know, I mean, I know I realized, like, why the fuck was I on Instagram every day? That was so pointless. Like, it was such a time waster for me, ultimately.
Mhm.
um it's like whatever we were doing 4 months ago, 5 months ago, like, it doesn't mean you have to be doing it now. So I think it's okay to, like, feel creatively just kind of nowhere, but, you know,
Mhm.
I don't know. It's hard to explain.
I
And
think
I feel bad because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, like, I haven't done anything," or like, "I haven't made a new costume," or like, you know, "If I haven't partaken in this hobby, does it mean I don't like it anymore?" And it's like, no, it doesn't. Like, it doesn't
I
mean that at
I
all.
think
Yeah.
I think maybe what I would say here is that um creativity and uh being constructive are not the same things. And you can express that creativity and do things without necessarily having to push towards a specific goal, or accomplishing something, or like having something finished. And um you know, if cosplay was your creative outlet, if photography was your creative outlet, just because you've switch something up and you're not necessarily getting those things quote unquote done anymore, doesn't mean that you are not creative or you're not expressing that creativity. Because like I said, I genuinely think that with creative individuals, like that creative energy is something that is stuck inside of us, and we manifest it one way or another. And just because you're not necessarily doing it in the way that you've done for a long time doesn't mean you're doing bad or wrong.
Yeah, I mean, all 4 of us picked up 4 completely
Yeah.
new hobbies.
Yeah.
Pretty cool,
And
actually. Yeah.
things
Yeah.
like that I didn't, wouldn't have ever thought I would go down that avenue. Like making leather belts, that's not a thing that
I
no.
never saw myself doing embroidery ever
Yeah.
again. I used to do that when I was a kid, but, like, not anymore, but here we are.
Okay, so
Yep.
kind of let's transition the topic to kind of like a bit of a lateral shift here, which is cosplay photography during the pandemic. I know I've seen this a lot on social media, and I'm pretty sure the four of or the three of you have seen it as well as probably all of chat. As people are starting to want to indulge their urges to go out and shoot and uh, I wanted to talk about how that's possible, whether that is something that people should be doing or not doing, and if they can do it, like what they should do to be safe about it. Anyone want to get the ball rolling on this?
Sure, I'll do it. I feel like uh there's definitely a limit to like what you can do and where you should go. Like I feel like if you're going to somewhere like remote, then that's fine to do like a shoot out there. And then even then, like also not in large groups. Like I can imagine doing like maybe like taking yourself plus two and doing a shoot and trying to maintain some sort of social distance during the shoot. I mean, you're not most of the time you're not like all up on a client or like as a photographer, you're not supposed to be all up on a client during a shoot. All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
All right.
that's a whole other thing, right? That's a whole other thing.
Whoops.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a way to do it safely, but I feel like you should also, uh, like be aware of the risks you're taking and not just be like, I'm fine because I'm not. I'm like it probably won't affect
I'm
me.
safe, so like it's got to be fine, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's not the approach to take.
yeah.
I mean, I think the important thing to take away from what you just said, LA, is that if you choose to partake in a photo shoot, you are taking a risk. Like,
Yes.
it's not if, ands, or buts. That's what you're doing. And especially now with the surge of cases happening, you know, I'm, I don't know. It's hard because, like, I feel like my area is, like, kind of doing okay. And I guess I would do it. But, like, I would do a shoot with one person only. And it would have to be someone that I trust and that I know has been taking the right precautions during quarantine.
Right, yes.
So if it was someone who had just recently traveled, I'd be like, well, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks because I don't trust this.
Mhm.
And also like I think it brings up the importance of planning ahead. Like I think now or like before, like you would kind of just go to a shoot and kind of go on the fly with like some kind of vague idea of what you're doing. But I think to shoot safely, I think is the best way to put it. Not even necessarily efficiently, but safely. You should plan ahead. Like, where are you going to meet up? Where's the location? Is this even safe? Is the area safe? And like, what kind of shots do you want? Because, you know, and also, like, I mean, I'm usually all up in a cosplayer space because I'm trying to adjust a wig or I'm trying to adjust their costume or I'm trying to pose them. So it's kind of like I would have to learn how to better communicate verbally
Mhm.
to my model, like how to fix whatever it is that they're fixing. I'm really bad at like trying to explain what I
Yeah.
want a model to do. So usually I'll just like pose them because what are words? But right now, that's not safe. Like, and plus the whole thing about being asymptomatic, like you just don't know. So the TLDR is like there's a risk,
Yeah.
and then just don't be stupid about it. Like, no offense to people in Florida, but I wouldn't do it in Florida. Florida's being particularly
I
dumb.
know.
I just wouldn't do
I'm
it.
sorry, LA. If it makes you
Give
feel
me
any
out
better,
there.
Wisconsin's also been particularly dumb lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Not quite as bad
I think
as Florida, but not great. The notes that I would add to yours, Sarah, uh, is when you're planning ahead, understand that every aspect of your plan needs to be considered in order to be safe. So this is something I didn't really think about it until my wife like has like beaten this into my head, where it's like, okay, if we're going someplace and let's say we go to do a shoot outside, and okay, well, we drove 2 hours to get to this location. One, you shouldn't be driving with the person that you're shooting with. You should be driving separately. because if you're in the same vehicle, you sure as shit aren't social distancing. So you
No.
got to drive separate. And let's say, however far you're driving, are you going to have to stop to go to the bathroom? Is that a thing that you're going to need to do? How long are you going to be out there? Um, I these are things that need to be taken into consideration because, are you going to have to stop in a random gas station and use their public restroom and take a risk there? Like every time you go inside in a public space, you are putting yourself at an increased risk. Yeah, it's
Well,
probably
and your model too that you're interacting with.
So it's all like all of these things are small risks, but they are all adding upon each other. So I I think the balance there is like, yeah, you should be shooting away from further away from someone, or like, let me rephrase that. You should be shooting in a place that's less populated, but you shouldn't be trying to go as far away as possible because then you also encounter problems with like, well, are you going to need to like, if you're driving more than 2 hours, you're going to have to stop to go to the bathroom at some point. You're going to have to,
on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Duh.
I mean, honestly, for guys, we can do that. I don't know if too many females would enjoy doing it. It's possible. It's doable.
Desperate
but
times call for desperate measures.
I mean,
okay?
honestly, though, if you're comfortable with doing it, go for it. It's certainly safer. But all of this is to say that they're all things that you need to consider, and it's not fun things to plan for, but we're living in a different world right now, and if you want to do a shoot, you just need to understand all the precautions you need to take, and actually follow through on those. Don't be like, well, it's probably not going to be a problem. So like, no,
don't get, I don't think lazy is the right word, but like don't get comfortable. Complacent. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, just because it's like a thing that you're used to doing with people that it doesn't mean that it's safe. Like, I don't know. I'm really paranoid because I know some family friends that have or had COVID, weeks ago, and they literally could not have done anything more to protect themselves, and they still got it. So, and there's so many unknowns about it that I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. It's not a necessity. That is to say, I can't really say for everyone because it's not an income source for me, but I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah. I think
be careful.
Yes. Sona says just be smart about it. I think that's the first half, because I think there's being smart and I think there's planning. Like, you shouldn't just be smart. You should be smart about it, but also have a plan. You should understand what you're doing, what you're getting into, and
a plan for afterward too.
Yeah,
like the planning's not just during the shoot, but like, what are you gonna do after? Like,
yeah, like,
you're gonna quarantine yourself for 2 weeks, or are you gonna? I don't know.
I mean, the only reason I say that, Sona, is just because I think genuinely, I think lots of people are like, I'm smart, like I know what I'm doing, and that is not an excuse for not doing solid planning ahead. Like, I'm not the kind of person who likes planning ahead for a shoot. That's not who I am. But we are not really in that place. And if you want to do a shoot right now, just understand that like you're going to be putting yourself and your model at risk. So if you're doing that, you should be doing everything in your possibility to limit those factors.
And I don't want to get like, weird about this, but like, let's say I'm just going to use Andrew as just an example. Like, I mean, obviously we trust each other, but like, let's say like we've only shot a couple times. We're kind of more just like acquaintances and whatever. Like, I could do whatever, like everything in my power to be safe about shooting during quarantine. But like, what if you one time just didn't do something a week ago. Like you took off your mask just kind of like without even thinking about it and somehow contracted. Like it's one tiny thing. It's just, I don't know. I'm paranoid. Don't listen to me. But like it's, you have to really think about the bigger picture. Like when I say like I would shoot people that I really, really trust, I mean, Aara is a really good example. Andrew is a good example. I'm trying to think. I don't know, like people that I work with, I trust them because we've been fucking working from. Yeah, fuck you, LA. You live in Florida.
Okay, fair.
You live in Florida. Stay away. Beth and Mike, I love you, but no, I'm sorry. I love you guys, but like, no, like I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Like,
So,
it's weird.
I think part of this conversation too is that even though Sarah, you trust me, Anthony is an essential worker.
I know, and that's literally what I was just gonna say. I was like, well, Anthony's been working, so he's been exposed. So can I like?
No, you're right. You wouldn't be able to shoot with me, or I mean, you wouldn't be able to be close with me. We would have to social distance. We could talk about ways to shoot without meeting up with people. You're not
Aara, go. I was wanting to transition that way anyways, so why don't you start us off there?
Yeah, so I think that a positive spin on this is that it has given many of us the opportunity to explore with a few things we may not have touched on. And it's first is self-shooting, which I know that Allison did an excellent stream on that I took notes watching. And you can find so many resources available to help you work completely independently and take total charge of that creative process. There's also the ability to use your phone to its maximum potential. I take so many excellent, I mean, okay.
I take excellent photos. Yes.
Totally passable cell phone photos. And then I have Anthony photograph me and I edit them myself. And it gives me the opportunity to post-process and learn how to use Photoshop and experiment in really sloppy, really silly ways, which is really fun.
Oh, stop. You're great.
I enjoy having that creative control. Now, it can't compare to how much fun I get collaborating with other artists. And that fulfillment for me is like untouchable, right? Nothing will compare to that. But when I'm alone, I really do like having full creative control. And I've been experimenting with editing my own top photos, which we took in our backyard. I don't know. So there's that, right? You can have a little bit of fun just doing things by yourself. So lovely.
I know I bought a bunch of shit for self-shooting. Have I done any of it? Absolutely not. I have not touched a camera since Katsucon, but I at least thought about it. But alas.
Right.
I think the other thing there that I would also say is use this time to figure out different locations or different places you would want to shoot, because I think that's like part of the difficulty with photography is like, oh, I want to do something cool, but where?
Yeah.
Well, now we have a bunch of extra time, so why not explore? Why not find those places now when you have the time, so that when you do have time to shoot, you don't have to worry. You already have in your like bank of ideas like a new like 10 different locations. Oh, we can shoot here, shoot here, shoot here. And I know personally for me, having different and new locations to shoot at affects my photography so much. I find shooting in the same place over and over again to be kind of draining. I love exposing myself to new areas to shoot in. And I if I have the choice there, that's where I'm gonna go. So yeah, use this time for that. Let's switch gears again and move on to the next topic that we had in the docket, which is rethinking cons post-quarantine. So we've all had time to we've been forced to pull back from cons.
What's time?
and that's given us a chance to look at them from afar. How has this change of perspective affected how we view conventions? Is Where do you want to focus your time and energy at upcoming cons when we can finally go to them, or what things do you want to add or cut out of your convention time? What changes do you want to see cons make in a post-quarantine world? I know there's a lot to unpack there. Um, so I don't know if anyone has a thought that they want to jump into.
I definitely have come to realization that I don't miss cons themselves. I miss the social interaction that I get from a convention. Like I look forward to like Colossal East. I know that's controversial, whatever. Every year because it's one of my friends, he gets one of the big 5 suites, and it's always just like super, super fun. It's like one of the most chillax con weekends ever. And I get to see so many people that I love, and it's depressing to think that I don't get to see these people. Yeah, I miss that. I don't miss the crowds. I mean, this sounds really bad being on a photography stream, but I always sought out photo shoots for cons, like either doing them myself or getting them done for me. But it was I realized, more of a social thing for me, not necessarily getting that like photo end result necessarily. I just like seeing everyone. So I don't really miss cons. I just miss the social aspect of them. They should have hand sanitizer stations.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard. Like
Yeah.
I mean, like my own apartment building has plastered them all over the walls. It's clearly not a hard thing to obtain. If there's anything I've learned from this, just have fucking hand sanitizing stations. I feel like MagFest had a couple, or maybe I'm just delusional. I thought they had some, but I could be wrong.
I want to say MagFest had them as well, but
Yeah. I feel like in the
my
gaming room, they
memory's
definitely
hazy.
had them. Well, it's because MagFest is always a
It's like
haze.
that was like 2 decades ago, so I really don't remember.
Right. I mean, right.
The last time I saw you guys.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat as you, Sarah. Like I appreciate that conventions are able to pull people from all around the country to like one spot, and we can all like socialize, and then like the shoot's almost like a kind of a secondary thing. Like I always went to conventions with the goal of doing photo shoots and stuff, but like what I know for the last couple of years up until quarantine, I was always like, why are we doing shoots at conventions so you could be doing shoots elsewhere, right? But it was just the convenience of it
Yeah.
that was driving that, I think, for me at least.
Oh, totally. I can echo that, especially as a Midwestern cosplay photographer. There's like so many people that I would never have gotten the chance to shoot if it weren't for shooting at cons. Like it just wouldn't happen ever.
I mean, even as an East Coaster, still, I wouldn't
Yeah.
see majority of these people. I mean, all my friends are in different states. Like my closest friends are not where I live. So it's like even I use cons as a way to like see everyone.
Yeah, and I don't know what changes I would like to see from conventions. Like that's very much I always think about conventions as a business perspective. Like I'm just like, yeah, like cons are great. Like I feel like the thing I would go to cons for mainly is like to see artists and Artist Alley. Artist Alley is one of my favorite things about conventions.
Me too.
So,
Oh my god, wait, LA, I feel like at MagFest, the only time I saw you was in Artist Alley every single time.
So I was just hanging out in Artist Alley, honestly.
I love Artist Alley. It's so bad anyway.
But even that is like, is that enough to like be a reason to go to a convention? Like because like I could support these artists elsewhere too. It's just like what in the post Corona teen world, what place does conventions have?
mean, yeah,
I
we
don't
can
know.
buy art online, but I like talking to the artists. Like,
Yeah.
I like picking their brain about like, you know, a certain fandom that I really like, or like I can't remember their name, but there's like this traditional screen printer who uses like imported paper and inks from Japan, and I love talking to him about screen printing because like that was something I was really into in college that I did. So, you know, I like talking to him just from like a technical standpoint of screen printing, and you know, I definitely go to Ars Alley also for the interaction to talk to other people. So I mean, I love hopping on Etsy and adding like 10,000 things in my cart. Like that's easy. But again, I'm missing like the social interaction of Artist Alley, which I like. Which even can be like me sitting at my friend's table and selling art and just making people buy shit they don't need. It's great.
Okay, so I'm a little different about cons. I'm an extreme extrovert, so my energy is recharged when I am socializing. And I loved the crowds. I loved being surrounded by a bunch of geeks and nerds and like-minded people and just feeling so energized and in that zone with the same people that have the same passions and hobbies, and were dressed up and doing crazy stuff. Like everywhere you looked, something was going on. People were like playing music over there, dancing over there. Magfest is a perfect example of that, in that you can enjoy that experience of live music just like step by step wherever you were in the venue. With the arcade, oh my god, you want to talk about ways to get the coronavirus. Magfest arcade! But let me tell you, like, getting sweaty and playing video games until like 5 in the morning, for those of you that stay up like I do and don't sleep, like that for me just is what I live for at cons. The rave, right? Again, God, I love these virus places. The rave, like people like dancing and jumping with like the bass like pulsing in your chest. The music is so loud. You can't get that anywhere else. I want to go to a nightclub with a bunch of not nerds. Like,
What are you, a not nerd? Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by people that like video games and anime and will dance with me and drink
And
with
manga.
me. Like, guys, I miss conventions. I miss everything about them except the cost.
Oh, that's real.
I'm really
That's
lucky to
real.
look at my bank account right now. But yeah, I love cons. I love people and crowds and parties, and just that experience was so energizing, and it really rejuvenated me. God, we worked the 40-hour-a-week grind, and that escape on the weekends, that ability to just be wholly myself
Oh my
without
God.
judgment was excellent.
I'm sorry.
Excellent.
Nifty says instead of smoke machines, it should just be spraying hand sanitizer.
Yes. Oh wait,
It's like those
my
Disney
It raves.
things.
It raves.
Ew.
Whatever. Also, get rid of like the nasty BO. I don't.
And anonymous cheer, thanks for that 200 bits.
I will
Go ahead,
agree
Ellen.
with you, though, because like I do, like I'm also very extroverted, and like I think, I there's certain cons where I don't get that experience, and that's where I think that I was thinking from. But like I know that like I miss it. TwitchCon's not happening. It's one of my favorite events of the year. It's not related to cosplay or photography, but it's related to streaming, and that's one where I'm just like,
Streams, that's dumb.
I know, what the hell? What is even Twitch?
Gross.
Screw that platform.
Oh, anyway, but but yeah, I mean, like the social aspect of it, and being able to see those friends, and like go to a party or bar and just hang out, like, yeah, that's gonna be the big thing that's missing, and I love that stuff. But what's gonna happen after all this? Like, can
I
we
don't
go
know
back
what
to
will
that?
happen in a post-quarantine world, but I know that experiencing the loss of cons helped me appreciate them more. It also
Mhm.
helped me recognize what it was I loved about them.
Oh,
And I
totally.
think that will help me, when I'm attending again, redirect my energy and my priorities to make sure that I'm like having max amounts of fun. I want to play DDR. I want to just like geek out. I want to watch break dancers. And I want to do some photo shoots with artists or photographers that I otherwise would never see.
So Bagfest.
Yes.
And for the rest of my life.
I think it's funny because like in my mind I've been thinking like, oh well, when this first hit I was like, well, Magfest was probably my favorite con experience, but like Magfest is like a year off yet. It's probably safe. I'm feeling less and less like that.
Right.
That was what just happened today. So
Yeah, I just don't know.
YOLO.
I know someone said it earlier. They don't think that we'll get cons till mid 2021.
We need a vaccine.
We need a vaccine.
Yep.
I don't trust
I'm not
any
going
of
to
you.
Magfest until I get vaccinated.
Yeah.
same.
Not because I don't want to go to cons. I'm not even paranoid, honestly. I'm not like, I mean, I got to go to the grocery store. I have to be out there, and there's no use living in fear with this constant paranoia hanging over my head. I am being as safe as I possibly can be while still surviving. And at cons, I'm going to get vaccinated, and I won't attend if I don't have one, just because it doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
I was like, there's a huge difference between being shoulder to shoulder at a con versus going to the grocery store.
Yeah. Exactly. Like you need a vaccine. And again, I'm not saying that just because I'm paranoid and like, don't go to cons, like we're all gonna die. Like,
totally.
It's the smart and logical thing to do.
So I get vaccinated for the flu because I attend conventions, and I don't want to get the flu. And you see people coming down with it frequently from these events. In fact, on March 13th, I got pneumonia.
Oh, that's right.
I remember.
And I had pneumonia for 2 weeks. I was on my nebulizer multiple times a day. I was completely bedridden. And while I had pneumonia and was bedridden and feverish, this virus exploded. And I was like, is this a fever dream? Like, how did I get pneumonia? And then the entire world collapsed while I was in my bed. So I don't want pneumonia or the flu or the coronavirus from conventions.
It is interesting because, conventions have always been a human petri dish for just various sicknesses. I feel for pretty much everyone that goes to more than a couple conventions a year, it's pretty much inevitable one will get you sick.
Magfest is the worst.
It feels like an inevitability that you're gonna get sick, and that's without the fear of something that is way more contagious than anything that's at a con. And it's not going is going to be my prerogative as well. Even if cons start happening, I'm not going until the vaccine. But
I encourage everyone to do the same thing. It's just not smart. Trust me.
It's so hard because I know all of us want to go. We all want to do it. But be smart. I will say that just kind of echo what everyone has said here. For me, what I'm truly missing is those experiences with friends and like-minded individuals. Some of my closest friends I've made at cons, and my most fun times at cons has been spending it with those people. It's a combo of spending it with those people, but having that just high energy environment just in general of a con. There's something about the energy at conventions that is just so different.
There's nothing like freaking Joe Schmo shrieking at 1 a.m. in the morning at MagFest or Katsucon wearing Miss Piggy. Let me tell you.
They're magical. They really are.
Genuinely, I think it has something to do with I feel like to a degree this has been less and less so, but I know for most of my life, being nerdy has been something that has gotten me ostracized from the general populace, and cons are a place where your nerdiness is a badge of honor, not a sign of shame, Not that we wear it as shameful in public, but you know what I'm saying. And it's a place where like you can just feel like you will not be judged for the things that you love. And it, even if that's not directly what you are even engaging with, if you're just hanging out with friends and shooting the shit, you feel like you're in an environment where you feel welcomed. And that changes so much, whether that's subconscious or not. And I think that changes those interactions. Like, yeah, you could hang out with your close friend outside of a con, and you probably will have a great time. But you could also do it at a con, and there's something just about that environment that is different.
I mean, I know my coworker, like she knows how nerdy I am. Like it's not like something that I hide,
Yeah.
but she experienced me at a con for the first time. I think it was well, I don't even maybe it was last year. I can't remember. No, it was last year. It was last year's KatsuCon. So wait, not the previous one that we just had, but the one before that. So like 2 years ago, I guess, whatever. And she was like, "Oh my god, like you're so different at cons." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's because like this is like kind of extreme, I guess, but like it's like for me it's a safe space. Like
Yeah.
I can be myself wholeheartedly and not have any ounce of fear that someone is going to judge me for what I'm dressed up as, what fandom I'm talking about. I don't anything. Like
Also, like, it's related to Sarah, just I am a loud person.
Really.
I am a chaotic person. And like there is only so much noise I am able to produce in like my neighborhood or the store. Or even back when they were open, the mall. Like I can't run down the hall in the mall like screaming JoJo, gibberish at my friend who I see like, in the distance. I don't know. You get to release so much of what you are, and you can't do that in public other places.
Clearly, hang out with Aara.
Well, I
hang out
think
with
you
Aara.
can, but the social stigma is a little different.
it's suffocating.
Yeah. No, that is totally true. Yeah, it's interesting because that specific question of like, is there places where I'd want to refocus my time at cons? I don't.
DDR versus me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw down again.
Oh my
You were
god.
crazy fast. Your feet were like.
We
Yeah,
still
it
have
was
to.
wild.
So the chair.
I got sweating. I was sweating. I was like, oh my god, this is.
I was also sweating, so there was that. So
I had to pull my hair up and like
It's
take
the
my shirt off.
room at MagFest.
So
Yeah.
So note on DDR. That was one of the incentives for my charity stream a little while back.
That's
We were waiting till we got our new DDR pad to do it. So we could do with Step Mania. It came. Not a lot of places sell good DDR pads anymore. Who would have guessed? So we had to order it from Poland. So that took a while. So we finally got it. We finally got it like last week. So we're just getting accustomed to it, but plan on that being on the docket real soon. I have not forgotten about it.
Not wait.
So that'll be a fun time. It'll probably be laughable, and I'll be sweaty and dead, but it'll be good. But sorry, little off topic. I don't necessarily know if there's any specific things that I'm like, I'm cutting this out of my con experience. I'm cutting that out of my con experience, or I really need to do more of this. I think it to me is more that I will cherish the time that I do have at cons more. Not that I didn't before, but I think stepping back, we've really gotten to put it all in perspective. And yeah, there's a lot of drama that happens at cons and a lot of bullshit. But think at least maybe this is me being naive and hopeful, but I think with all of us not being able to go to cons, when we finally can go, I have this feeling that there will be less drama and less craziness because we will all just be so jonesing for that con experience that I see from the faces that you guys are like, this motherfucker doesn't know what he's talking
Dude,
about.
You are
No, it's because you said jonesing.
disagree. No. You're like less drama, less craziness, and I'm like, are you kidding me? It's hot. They're gonna explode. We're going to lose our marbles. Like they're going to be the craziest things when we get back.
Totally. But I get what
And
you're
there's
saying.
drama.
I'm
Oh my
more talking about just that interpersonal drama because I think
No.
Oh, fuck that shit. Whatever.
Whatever, dude. I don't worry about that.
Never mind. I didn't say anything.
No interpersonal drama.
I think that's a good point. Like and this is I'm gonna try to say this as not weird as possible, but like we all love tea, right? But like this quarantine has made me realize like there are so many other things to worry about. Like I didn't realize how much time mentally, just like passively, I invested into just knowing what the fuck was going on. And the deeper I get into quarantine, the more I'm just like, I don't care. Like I don't care about all this petty drama. Like
Yep.
we're adults. Also, I'm fucking 31, so I'm just over it at this point. But like, it's just like things get so blown out of proportion for no reason, and it's just there's so many other important things that we could be focusing our energy on that is not this petty cosplay shit. Like, yeah, there's drama happening in the cosplay community, but like there are bigger and more important things, like the fucking Cheeto that is in the White House right now. Like, you know, I don't give a fuck about cosplay drama anymore.
Yeah,
like literally the last thing I want to hear, unless it's like someone that's being brought forward for being like, you know, like
shitty
sexual predator or like someone who's scamming or like like that's legitimate. But all of the petty, like, oh well, she said, he said, like, oh my god, I was excluded and no one said anything, blah 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 receipts, like, y'all, this is not high school. But that's not gonna stop. But I've just decided that like whenever I see that, I turn off my brain and I'm like, you know what? This is literally not even worth thinking about for 2 seconds of my life.
I do not see it.
That's my hope, and I think this is probably a total naive thought, but that's my hope, is that everyone will be so in love with being able to go back to cons that like that drama side of things will take a back seat to purely just being able to go. I think we'll end up quickly back to drama after cons have been a thing for like 3-4 months. I think that'll be short-lived because humans are very predictable in that way. But I'd like to pretend there will be this like sweet, wonderful bit of loveliness with cons for like a couple months. That's
Here's
my
the thing.
hope.
I mean, honestly, Andrew, I mean, it's because you're not on Twitter, but there's drama all the fucking time.
What's
like,
a Twitter?
literally, like, I feel like the drama has gotten not necessarily like worse, but like the people, like the topics or like the topic of discussion is just so stupid, and it gets just so, like I said, blown out of the water.
So your thought process is that the people that love tea are reaching for tea. So as soon as there's a fresh pot brewing, they're gonna be sipping that as soon as they can. Is that where you're kind of going with it?
No, I'm saying that you're being naive and it's not gonna happen.
I mean, to be fair, I also think that is very, very naive. But I have a hope.
I would love it. I would love if quarantine taught people to like stop, like keep your don't out your stupid like friendship problems on the internet. You gotta solve that shit like privately, not on the internet. I'm sorry. Like
no, 100%.
You mean vague posting isn't going to solve my interpersonal problem?
Oh my god, but stop tweeting my favorite thing. Fuck.
My public Twitter following is an expert. They give me the best advice when I vague tweet about something they don't know anything about.
They really do. It's the best. It's why I consult with
guys,
Instead of like a real therapist.
Well, people that like drama will pursue it and they will find it. And then the people that just are there to vibe will just vibe. I don't know.
Agreed.
I think we're gonna be fine. Like we're gonna have fun at cons. I have fun
yeah.
at every con I ever go to ever.
Yeah, if anything, this is like just changed and reassured what I like and what I don't like about this hobby and this community and going to a con. I need to take more like behind the scenes photos because I'm not gonna lie, I go through all this horrible candidates
that entirely
that Ivan has taken of me because I'm like, oh, because like every time someone's like, oh, what did you do at the con this past weekend? I'm like, I don't know. I showed up.
So Sarah, I can't agree with you on that more. I was going when ASUN didn't happen this year, I was going through my photos from the past like 11 or so 12 years of me going.
That's
and
right.
I was looking at them and I saw this, this natural shift of me like becoming an artiste where they stopped being like random photos at the con and you could see where like I was concentrating on photo shoots and like I love that side. I love that that's a shift that I made, but like I hate that I stopped taking those fun, stupid like shots, like just my friends hanging out. Because when I look back at cons, like those are the things. Yeah, those are the things that I love. Like I do love the shoots, and I have amazing memories from those. But I have some of the most amazing memories of just chilling with my friends in the lobby. Like, so I
something
really
that made me realize it was actually today because Jess, or also known as Hinoxalis online, she like posted this meme where it was like, post a photo, like a candid photo of you smiling or some stupid like behind the scenes photo of you during a photo shoot, and I literally had like none. I had to go pretty far back and I was like, oh, that's sad that like I have a lot of bloopers, but not necessarily like during a certain thing. So yeah, it was today, literally this morning. I was like, man, I gotta like stop being so like hoity-toity about being a photographer and just fucking take some weird ass photos. Like, I missed that.
Okay, let's transition to the last topic I had on the docket, and then we'll take a short break and get into chat questions. I know we're going a little bit long on this first half, but I think we've had a lot of fun things to talk about here. So final topic we have here is media entertainment. I know this has been like a huge thing during quarantine of like sharing your recommendations. What shows are you enjoying? But I want to kind of like narrow the scope just a little bit, and I want to talk about like what shows have been either helping you cope, helping you escape, or helping you grow. Of those kind of three branches. I said shows, any sort of media.
I have a dumb story.
Go for it.
Okay, so I recently have been rewatching Katekyo Hitman Reborn because I literally had a dream about it 2 weeks ago.
Hey man.
I can't even remember what the dream was. Literally just like, it was like, because I watched it in college with some friends and it literally was just literally me in the same apartment watching it with the same people. And I even remember like the arc of the episode that was in my dream, and I woke up and I was like, wow, I really should rewatch this. So that's what I've been doing. It's a big endeavor because it's long, because it's Shonen Jump, but or whatever. But yeah, it's weird.
Haikyuu all the way. If any of you guys want to play volleyball with me, I suck. Please play volleyball with me. Just, it's okay. You want to. It'll be fun.
I play Haikyuu in the background during work. Because the English dub is so fucking funny.
Tanaka in the English dub is like,
so great.
What's up, bro? I'm like, where did you come from? A California beach?
Dude, Tanaka and Shinoya and Kageyama. They're just like
Noya's like nasally voice. It's so perfect. I think Asahi is actually for me the most like poignant English
Oh yeah, Asahi's great, but
He's incredible. Yeah.
they get exponentially stupider in the dub, and it's so funny.
Yeah, he's like he calls him a little turd. I'm like, what is this amazing localization?
The insults are so good. I was like, wow, this is really good. This is actually fun. Like, I found myself laughing out loud. Like, oh man, great dub.
Congratulations, you are playing volleyball with me because you're Asahi. So there you go.
Any other people? Go, LA, go ahead.
I've been listening to a lot of. I've been like, so I like at the beginning of the year ish. I just got Spotify Premium. I've just been like going through and just finding great tons of music. I've been playing my guitar a lot and my piano. I've been reading a lot of old poetry just because I don't know. I'm just really getting into old things. Obviously, because I've got freaking wax seals now. So.
Okay, excuse me, whatever. Calligraphy and wax seals are great.
I will just
generation.
LA, I'll just throw this out here. I don't know if she's ever said anything to you, but I don't mean to speak for her, but I'm going to speak for her. If you ever want someone to musically collaborate with, my wife is definitely looking for more people to collaborate with musically. So, putting that out there into the world for you.
When I get better at playing instruments. Holy.
Yeah. So, no pressure. Just wanted to put that out there because I know she's jonesing to. I'm gonna use that word again just because it bothers me. She's jonesing. That's like
the word of the night. Fucking jonesing. Half the chat's probably like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah, I've been consuming. I've been playing video games. It's been my main thing.
Rocket League. I've been getting back into Rocket League. I've been playing with friends. Rocket League. Yeah, dude.
I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight's been my jam for a bit. So.
Oh, has it? Nice.
Yeah.
Rocket League has the best soundtrack for no reason. It's just so good.
Yeah,
Rocket League's soundtrack is literally they have it linked to Spotify. They're like, oh, here's the song playing off of Spotify, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Fun. I love it.
Oh my god, what a dopey game.
It's so much fun.
It is.
The shows. I'm sure I've mentioned this on stream before, but I'm going to continue mentioning it forever. Natsume Yujincho or Natsume's Book of Friends.
I knew it. I need to watch it. I need to finally just watch it.
It is the most relaxing show. It just like puts me in such a good space, and like it kind of like it makes me feel, at least for a little bit, better about the world. And I know the characters aren't real, but I know like if people can have like created these thoughtful, wonderful humans and put them into a show, that those like, you know, yes, these are fictional people, but I can choose to believe that there are other people like that in the world, and it just makes me feel better when I watch it.
I mean, that's why I rewatch Haikyuu and Cardcaptor Sakura for the 500th fucking time.
The other thing is, we finally finished watching, my wife and I last night, is Carol and Tuesday.
Oh my god, I feel like you started that so long ago.
I know. We so normally what happens is we'll like watch a bunch of stuff, and then we'll get to like the last like couple episodes. And we usually watch one episode a night or something like that, and then we'll like, oh, we're gonna loop back, and like we're just gonna binge the last like 4 episodes just so we kind of, you know, we don't leave ourselves on a cliffhanger, and then like we just don't find the time over and over again for no fucking reason. There's no good reason we haven't done it. But last night we're just like, screw it, it's time.
Nothing else to do.
The ending's so good. That show is so poignant for today, today's world, in ways that I didn't think was possible. It has commentary on things that it didn't really understand, like, because that show is what, from winter season, something like that. And there's things that are like way more poignant now than it was when the show would have been made, So it's like kind of like I feel like they peeked into the future and found some things, and the ending is just so hopeful and heartwarming, and it's really worth a watch. It is truly great.
Does it take place in modern day, or is it
No,
like futuristic?
it is
Not futuristic,
it
but you
is
know what I mean.
Carol and Tuesday. It technically exists in the same universe as Cowboy Bebop.
Huh?
Yes. It
What?
it is
I'm
on
so-
Mars. And
Wait, you're kidding, right?
No, I am
Oh,
not kidding.
I'm Googling this right now.
Yeah, Carol and
What?
Tuesday.
Are you kidding me?
No, Carol and Tuesday exist on Mars. That you if you've watched Cowboy Bebop enough, you will actually notice some things that you're just like, oh, they're paying with Woolongs. There you can see like
Oh
uh
God.
if you've seen the Cowboy Bebop movie, you've seen the train that train system that they have on Mars, and they use that same train system. It's like one of those things where it's just like it's irrelevant. Like you don't need to have watched Cowboy Bebop at all to get enjoyment out of it. But like if you have, there's like little nods to it that are just like, hey. Yeah, so
Wait a minute.
wait,
That's
I know where
wild.
this is from. So
I never would have guessed that. That's so crazy.
absolutely wonderful show. And any other media you guys want to share that you've been partaking in? That has
Besides
been-
Animal Crossing.
Besides Animal Crossing and watching old shows that I've already seen 1,000 times.
Yeah, I think there's been something fulfilling about going back and watching old shows. I've heard so many people say that. It's like just this like source of comfort I think we've all found in the old media that we are so attached to.
I think it's like, I mean, it's weird because like I realized the shows that I've been rewatching are shows that I watched with friends. Now that I'm like reflecting on it, like I was introduced to like Katekyo Hitman Reborn, for example, in college, and I only watched it with my friends in college. Like I never watched an episode by myself. We would just literally binge it on random nights or during the weekend or whatever. And I think I was probably missing that, which is why I dreamt about it, which was it's still fucking weird. It's like nostalgia. I don't know. It's weird.
Studio Trigger's new anime, Brand New Animal, is on Netflix now. Highly recommended because it's
That's right. I forgot. I gotta watch.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
on
it's
my
fun.
to-do
It's good.
list.
It's quick. Just I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay, well, with that, I think we are going to go on a short break here.
Thank God I gotta
I
pay.
can eat my second piece of pizza finally.
Yeah,
No
just
one
eat it
cares.
on screen.
Eat on stream.
Eat
You
on
can eat
stream.
carrots on stream.
I
You
eat
can
on
eat
stream all the time. It's
You
fine.
do a cooking show.
My pizza's cold now.
Full piece of great.
So
Oh,
we will be back in 5 minutes. I have a ask for all of you in chat. Think of some questions you want to ask us. Don't post them now. Hold on to them. Wait till we get back
Andrew
to share
will
them.
lose them. Guaranteed.
Yeah, because I don't want to have to scroll up in chat. I want to be able to see them and copy and paste them into my Word doc so that I can remember them. And if you paste them
Ask
now, yeah, ask us questions. It can be cosplay related, photography related, general
related,
world related. Just keep it appropriate, and chances are we'll dive into it. Yeah, I think that about covers it. Okay, we will be back in 5 minutes. Ours just like preemptively like, I'm gonna eat the pizza. Okay, see you guys in a minute. And we're back. LA's
Yo.
like, I want to
Yo,
do
I was
some
like,
wax.
are we about to have some like sexy like wax seal B-roll? Cause
oh yeah. Totally do that.
Here's
boring,
Uh,
dude. That shit's so
gonna
satisfying to
melt the
watch.
wax and
Today we're gonna go ahead and put the wax on the
Do it.
letter, and then we're gonna put the wax stamp on it. All right.
just
Anyway.
get the stamp real close. We can
Anyway.
hear the thing pressing into the wax, just like
Ah,
Well, here's the real question. Did you get nerdy wax seagulls or did you get like normal people seals?
I'm trying to figure out a custom one that I can send off and get like someone to create one for me. Like, well, like I have a design in mind. I just need to send it out and see.
The
if they can do
options
it.
are limitless.
I know.
Oh my god. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Yes, I would.
Anyway. Hi.
Anyway.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thanks for chilling.
To Chaos
And,
Hour.
It's
I ate my second slice of pizza, just so everybody knows.
hell
It was
yeah.
delicious.
Nice.
Everyone was super worried. They were like, "Did she finish in time? Was
Yeah.
it enough pizza?
That
Is
pizza
she
gone
full?
now?
Is she full?
It's
Does she
gone.
want more? I don't know. When's
I want
Aara's
more.
storyline gonna be finished?
I want pizza
We're gonna have to-
now.
I'm waiting for the Aara pizza sequel.
I hope I don't have pizza like in my mouth. Anyway.
All right, let's get into this. Let's get into questions, guys. Let's get into it. Nah.
Let's just shoot the shit for the next hour.
I mean, we probably could do that. In fact, I
We've
imagine
already
we will
done it.
get off topic at some point. But
Like right now.
Lou, starting us off here, says, what other alternative sources of income can a photographer do during quarantine to do limited shoots or no shoots at all? No FaceTime shoots because Wi-Fi is low quality. Would you say edit commissions, wallpapers, sell camera gear?
I mean, is this like someone whose main source of income is photography, or it's
yeah,
If
the
it's your main
different
source
choices.
of income, yeah, if that's your career, and you are currently unable to practice as a freelance photographer, you need to file for unemployment in your state,
Yes.
yeah? I was like, that's what you need to
Yes.
do.
and that will be your main source of income, and you will get the COVID money on top of it weekly.
Yep. But if
But
it's
if you're
just
looking
like
for a
side
fun,
hustle,
if you're looking for a fun answer, like for some extra quick bucks, can you do editing commissions?
yeah, I mean those are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the work is there for you, if people are interested in having you do that, absolutely. Ellie, I don't know if you have any specific thoughts on this because I know for you, photography was / is a source of income.
I mean, I've like a lot of my income for photography was from like graduation and like wedding stuff. Most of my wedding stuff is pushed off. That doesn't mean that money's gone. It's just coming later.
Yeah.
So it's not that I'm like out of work per se. It's just that like those contracts are still getting paid off. I'm just doing the job later than supposed to happen for the most part. Other than that, like I don't know. I've just been doing like I've been able to do FaceTime stuff, and I've been able to do like other things. I'm really like I'm not terribly worried about that income currently. It's just as far as what he's doing, like editing commissions are a thing. I mean, there's people in other parts of the world that are doing work now because they handled the virus better than we did. So
That's a low bar, LA. That's a low bar.
But I mean, that's an option. I mean, and then maybe work like again, like there's no such thing as no risk. But if you feel like you might be able to do work like with people you trust or you've worked with before, that's still an option. It's just that's completely your prerogative.
Call me crazy, LA, but have you stepped up your number of streams since COVID, or am I just paying attention to your streams more because I have more
You're
time
just
to be on Twitch?
Paying attention to shit because actually I stepped down my streams.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I feel like you've been talking about them less.
I mean, I've still been doing it. Like I was at the beginning of the year, I was doing 5 a week. I'm down to 4. That's all. Like,
5 a week.
5 streams a week. Yeah, I used to
Dude,
do
I'm
5
fucking
streams a week.
exhausted doing one.
My streams are only 2 to 3 hours a time, and I'm just cooking.
Yeah, so are ours usually.
It's that extrovert energy. I like. I
Okay,
get.
but
I
like
get
you also get the reward of food at the end.
Yeah, I have to agree with LA. After a
Okay.
stream, I'm so jazzed. I want to like keep talking to more people. Like when we hang up this call, I guarantee I'm gonna like run downstairs and be like, "Who wants to Discord with me?"
Well, hell, I'll let you guys in on a little secret here. Most of the time unless it's like super late, there have been so many times where we've finished up streaming and then like
and we're still
we've
fucking talking
talked
about
for
nothing.
I remember when we had Cow Butt Crunchies on a while back.
Oh, that's right.
Dude, we talked for like probably another 2 hours after that
It
stream
was past
to the point
midnight.
where my wife
Yeah.
was just like, "You need to get off the fucking computer," and I'm like, so
And I'm pretty sure we've talked until like 1:30 or 2 a.m.
yeah, it's
like
yeah.
just chilling.
No, especially in quarantine mode, time is like this made up thing. I know I had one time
Man,
where
the
I had
5-second walk to my desk is tiring.
yeah, I had one Discord hangout with friends that lasted, I think it was like around 8 or 9 hours where we just chatted for that long, and I was just like,
Wait, is that the one that we were in together?
I don't think no. This was one that was kind of like my like pseudo ASEN hangout. Where I
okay.
had some friends that I normally go to ASEN with, where I was just like, sweet baby Jesus, this was the longest I've ever been on a call. Okay, I think all of those are valuable thoughts on his viewpoint. I definitely though do yeah. If you can take unemployment, go for it. I know you say it's difficult because you have 2 jobs and both are essential. Like that's a difficult space. So all the
for
best.
Lou, it's more of an extra cash.
Yeah,
Then I would
yeah.
recommend the editing commissions. Another thing I just thought of is it's kind of weird because I feel like it's kind of hard to figure out what to charge, like how to charge it, but is like photography consultation. So kind of having like a like if someone's like just starting out, like kind of just like lending your knowledge to them or to have like a critique session or like anything like
you could do like critiques and then stream them.
Ew,
something like that. Okay, so I think this was Kengar asks, out of the cons you've been to, who is your favorite guest and why?
wait.
Out of the
Who's your
cons you've
favorite
been to,
guest?
who's your favorite guest and why? I have thoughts on this if no one else has.
I had one from a really long time ago, but it's a
Honestly,
con that I don't even go to anymore.
Yeah, the guest that sticks out the most in my mind is from the very first con that I went to. And it was seeing the Pillows live. Like
I knew it, yeah.
like I don't that will forever be one of my top con experiences, and I don't know purely because it's like how like it was at my very first con I've ever been to. It holds such like almost like a mythical place in my mind at this point that like I don't think it's toppable even if like I have a better experience because like it's held in such like weird mystical high regard. But yeah, Pillows definitely for me.
For me, it was Anime Boston, and I can't remember what year it was, but Nobuo Uematsu was a guest, and I do remember it was like the early years. Like I was taking like Japanese 1, like I just started, and I was like so determined to speak to him in Japanese. I literally, I'm such a fucking loser. I had my textbook with me. Like I was because I was in line for like 2 hours to get his autograph and to like meet him, and I literally was like reciting in my head like over and over and over again like how I was going to speak to him because I just really wanted to like just like say something to him in Japanese. And I remember the thing I gave him was like some like special edition like Advent Children magazine or something, and I had him sign it, and he was like, "Oh my god, like I haven't seen this in print yet." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like it has like a lot of, you know, like various artworks from like fans and stuff in it." And he took it and was like browsing through it and like commenting on how cool it was, and I was really starstruck. And yes, I was carrying my fucking Japanese textbook with me in my bag. I don't even like want to talk about it, but that's been my highlight. I was so nervous, like, oh my god, I thought I was gonna pass out. But it was so worth it. It was so worth getting up really early to stand in line for 2 hours to meet this
believe it.
man because his music is just the best. Oh man, I was
He's such a
lame.
pure human. Like you can see the
He
joy that
is.
he has when you see him in person. He's just like he's like the person that you would love to have as your grandpa. You're just like, oh my god.
Yes. Well, I
Uh,
remember it was also the year they had like I don't think the concert exists anymore, but it was called, I think, like Play Video Games Live or something.
Yep.
And even though we all knew that Nobuo was gonna be there, we attended the concert the night before because I think his autograph was like on Saturday, and then we
Yeah.
attended the concert Friday night. And they started playing One Winged Angel, and all of a sudden he just comes out of nowhere on this like
That's like him.
mini like organ type instrument and just starts jamming, and we all just like lose our shit because we're like not expecting we kind of speculated that they would bring him out to be like, this is Nobuo Uematsu, like whatever, but like we didn't expect him to come out on this weird mini organ and start playing. Like, oh my god, it was so lit. Damn, I miss those days.
I'm gonna answer next because I'm right in there with Sarah about.
Were you there with me?
No,
Were
no,
you
no,
just
no,
there
no,
with me?
no, I've met Nobuo 3 times. In
Oh,
various concerts, but he's always been the like one of the highlights.
I have not met him in person, but I know my wife has. I'm
it's
pretty
a
sure. I'm
fucking
pretty sure at the
joy.
Play video games live concert. So
Oh, that's
Uh,
funny. Yeah.
but yeah, no, he's an inspiration, and like I like love meeting him. On another like side note, it is the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy 9, by the way.
Nice.
it is.
So
G'day.
my favorite Final Fantasy. Anyway, go ahead. That's it. That's all I wanted to add.
All right. Well,
Um,
RLA.
Fighting Dreamers, the Naruto opening, you know?
Yeah,
Is that
I'm
Asian
aware
Kung
of
Fu
it.
Generation?
Yeah, Asian Kung Fu.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, I saw that live in
Fighting Dreamers
Boston.
is Flow.
Oh, it's Asian Kung Fu.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
What did
Whatever.
Asian Kung Fu Generation do?
Asian Kung
Haruka
Fu
Kanata?
did yeah. Yes.
Haruka Kanata. Well, okay. Then I saw Flow.
Whatever.
Regardless, best experience of my life seeing that live. The Anime Boston Auditorium was packed. Back before the virus. Anyway, everybody was screaming the Fighting Dreamers stuff, and it was funny because we'd all be like, "We are Fighting Dreamers," and I'd be like, nobody could speak Japanese. It was really funny. And I loved it. Everybody was jumping up and down, and like, oh, what a time! I love Naruto. And then 2 other guests I really liked meeting. I met Amy Hennig, who was the writer for the original first couple Uncharted games, and I was at a Women in Games panel actually in my area, and she was one of the panelists. And hearing her speak was incredible. She's someone I seriously admire as a writer. And then I met Nolan North, who's the voice actor for Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series. And I was cosplaying Cassie Drake, who is Nathan Drake's daughter.
Oh, that's awesome.
When I went up to Nolan North, he was like, "Oh, Cassie!" And then like, took selfies with me on my phone, and it was just really fun time to tell him that just his energy in that game. And the way that he breathes so much life into the character really inspired me to like travel the world and have a good time doing it. So that was a nice experience. Yeah.
I recalled another memory. This is really old. I bet no one in the chat even knows what I'm going to be talking about. But I think it was, I'm going to say it was Otakon, only because I feel like that's the only con that could have gotten this guess at the time. But there was this singer she was known for the the ending song or the opening song, I can't remember, for the Vampire Knight anime, and she was like this like goth punk singer who played this like electric cello. And we went to her concert because we pretty much had nothing else to do. And we went, and she was just such a cool performer because she would wear like full blown Lolita while also playing this like blinged out electric cello. And it just was so awesome. Like I've never seen, it was my first time seeing like a string instrument utilized in that way. Like I'm so used to like the traditional orchestra, but she just was like going ham, and it was so cool. Like it was one of the best concert experiences. Even though I like at the time I didn't really know who she was, we just went because we had nothing better to do. But it ended up being like one of the fondest memories of that Otakon, whenever that was. It was like when it was in Baltimore. It was cool. I recommend looking her up.
Canon
Wakashima was her name. Yeah. Yeah. It was really cool. I recommend looking her up just to see her performances. They're so hype, and I can't imagine performing in full Lolita and wig and shoes on stage under those stage lights while playing a string instrument and singing at the same time.
So
Like,
LA,
what?
I believe you still need to answer this one.
Oh, I mean, Uematsu is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I didn't know that was your actual
Cool.
answer. Never
That's
mind.
definitely
Never
my answer.
mind. Never mind. You did answer. I'm just dumb. Turns out I'm just dumb.
It's hard to top him, honestly. So pure.
Okay. I know we had a couple more, but keep those questions coming in so that we have a nice bank of them. This one was how do you make friends at conventions? I think that one's an interesting one. I know for me personally, the way I like make friends at conventions is also like a huge part of the reason why I do photography at cons. I've made so many friends at cons through photography. I probably wouldn't know the 3 other people here with me if I didn't do photography at cons. Like, maybe I would have, probably not. The magic of cons is you are in a place where you are going to be with a ton of like-minded individuals, and chances are there are some people that are really into the same exact super nerdy thing that you're into. And that's a very easy connection point. I have since stopped doing these specific things, but if you're not doing photography or cosplay and trying to connect with people that way, like go to a panel, go to a fandom meetup. Like there's plenty of like I feel like cons as a construct are like 90% trying to get people together so that they can make the connections with other people that they wouldn't have outside of a con. And there's a ton of different gateways to that. So use them.
I met most of my friends through photography as well. On the other side, though, not as a photographer, as a cosplayer. Just respecting the craft, booking the work of those that I admire, and networking with friends in that way. The couple unusual ones, though, like Sarah and I have known each other for like not like truly have grown close. We grew close recently, but like I think we've known each other for over a decade now.
Yeah.
So that's craziness, right? Because that's back when cons were small, and you could meet people at little events, because you didn't have many people to hang out. So we hung out. I remember Sarah took like my first ever cosplay photo on her like flip phone.
Okay, it was with the Canon Power Shot. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, I have flip phone photos too. I think I had like the pink razor. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so the Canon Power Shot, it was cute, it was adorable, and because we like Kingdom Hearts, and I was cosplaying Roxas. Now Andrew,
actually,
Yeah.
ever. It was of you.
Oh my god, it was your first haul shot and my first haul shot.
Yes, that's what makes it really special for me.
Beautiful synergy.
Yes. And Andrew,
Focus.
Andrew I met because he reached out on Instagram and said, "Hey, you're a Katsu, I'm a Katsu. Can I snap a couple pics of you?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I admire your work so much." Yes. And he did, and he yes. And Andrew was high energy. He was very personable. Warm,
that energy
friendly,
was a lie.
He said he was drained. It was a Sunday, just so you guys know.
It was a Sunday of KatsuCon.
Oh, it
yeah,
was.
very friendly.
Oh my god.
And one of the reasons that I found Andrew to be so incredibly personable is that he introduced himself to the people I was with, including Anthony. Like, he made sure that he wasn't just like, "Hey, cosplayer, let me get a cosplay photo." He was like, "Hi, I'm Andrew. What are you guys up to? You enjoying the con?" Like, he made himself an accessible and real human being. So good job, Andrew. You're good at interacting with people.
Good job, Andrew. You're not a weirdo.
That continues to be a piece of advice I give to people is if your subject at a con is with other people, talk to those other people, engage those other people. It'll be amazing how much better of a shoot you will have if the people they're with can also go like, "Wow, this guy's doing cool things," or "Hey, they talk to me," like. Because otherwise, chances are, especially if they're coming along with, they're like, can't wait till the shoot's done. Is the shoot done yet? They just watch you in the shoot as you ignore them. Don't do that.
Yeah, Anthony came and helped pose me, and it was a good time. Andrew, he was like hanging over the railing of a stairwell. I thought for sure this dude's going down. Like, that's it. Head cracked open on the sidewalk. Dunzo. Nice meeting Vontography, but this is how he dies. You had like camera in one hand, like arm holding onto the railing, and you're like, "I gotta get this shot angle thing," and I'm like, "Oh, good lord." Anyway, he lived, so good job living.
It still makes me nervous. It's okay.
I'm sorry, everyone. It's who I am as a human.
Good.
See if I have other things about making friends at conventions.
Lou in chat. I'm sorry for
no, you're fine.
copying this conversation. Lou in chat said he met me at Katsu, and that's how he met me too. He was like, "Hey, I'm Lou." And of course, I knew him through Vontog's stream, so it's networking. Andrew had Lou actively participating in chat, and so when I met him at Katsu, I was like, "Oh, I'm familiar with your username, and you're a great dude. You're cool. I like your work." And then he asked to shoot me as Sothis at Katsu, and then we just hung out. And like, people bring food, and you sit on the con floor. You have to have an approach that's pretty easygoing. Don't feel rushed. Don't feel like you have to immediately find something to do with these people. You don't have to even find something special to say. Just chill and maybe say like, "Hey, you guys hungry? You want to get some coffee? You want to get some burgers?" And
Coffee.
feel free to sit down. Feel free to sit down in the hallway and have a drink with them, have some food with them, and just hang out in each other's presence. That's fun.
I wanted
at least the common ground that you have is the con. Be like, "Oh, how do you like your weekend so far?" Or like, "What do you have planned?" Or like, pretty easy. As someone who's introverted and hates small talk, I don't mind conversing with people at cons that I don't know, because it's really easy to find that common ground.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the big thing you can understand is that almost everyone that's at the con is open to making friends at the con. Like, it might not be their explicit reason they're going, but it's a huge part of the reason why a lot of people go. and to date myself a little bit and show how my experience has changed, I remember the first con that I went to. I was the friends that I made there. I stayed in contact with them because I had a sheet of paper that I was writing down their AOL Instant Messenger screen names on.
Shut up! I'm obsessed.
What were your screen names? Everyone share.
I don't remember, to be quite honest.
Still use mine. Mine's still Ito.
Mine was Angel Wing 82.
Oh my god. I
Not-
really have
not-
no idea what mine is. I would literally need to like search for mine. I have no idea.
If Akari is still hanging out in chat, he can vouch for this being real, because we used to. Is AOL still alive? No, AOL and AIM is definitely dead. But
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna age myself with cosplay.com forums, but you've outdone me, so
yeah, no. So it's
Remember?
changed.
the cosplay wig site, Cosworks. Back before Arda existed.
I
oh, I
Oh,
remember
right.
that because that was through
Oh, right.
cosplay.com.
Yep.
But yeah, so a hilarious thing. I was filling out a job application like a couple weeks ago, and they had an option to enter in my AIM screen name as like one of the contact
Shut
methods, and I was
up.
just like,
It
what?
still exists. That's really
No,
what
it's
I
dead.
wanted.
Like AIM is dead. Like it's not even a thing.
That's gone. I think. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it's dead. No, it's
my
totally dead.
God.
So I was just
That's
like, why is
an
this on
indicator
here?
for me to not to apply.
Poor because
Damn.
I thought that was hilarious. Guys, keep those questions coming in. We're gonna have this one that I have no answer to. Is have you from Alligator? Have you seen Hamilton
No, I
yet?
have not watched Hamilton.
And if so, what is your
No.
favorite song? I've never seen
I
Hamilton.
watched it either.
No.
I haven't seen anything. Oh man.
Oh,
look at
our
us.
answers are wonderful.
Look at us.
Killing it.
Who would have thought?
I know this one was asked preemptively before by someone who is in Scotland and said they couldn't stick around, so I hung on to this question, which is what would you need to know about a person before taking photographs of them for their wedding or an engagement shoot?
That is totally out of my
Wait,
ballpark.
Could you repeat that real quick?
Sure, yeah. These are the exact wordings, which is what would you need to know about a person before taking photographs of them for their wedding or an engagement shoot?
I think the most important thing is knowing like what their tastes are and what they would want to see at a shoot. Like what like how the couple met, like things that are important to them, like what they would like to like involve in the shoot. And like kind of just getting to know the couple as a couple. Like that I think that's the most important thing about like doing wedding and engagement stuff is like what's the dynamic and how are you going to express that in photos?
Yeah.
Because
I didn't
you know,
know that you did engagement shoots as well. Because I know you do weddings, but
yeah, I mean like
oh, that's cool.
I just go down the
Engagement
run the
shoots I
gamut.
find
I don't
so
know.
much more fun than like engagement shoots are like if I took like the most fun parts of a wedding out of the wedding.
Yes.
I would do all engagement shoots if I
Yeah,
don't
I
care
mean,
about
like,
them that much, but like if
I'm
It's a-
excited to book photographers for those benchmark life shoots, engagement, wedding, etc. I have Pinterest boards for them, and they're not necessarily photos of other people's engagement shoots. There could be photos of an environment I think is romantic, color grading that I think catches the atmosphere of what I want from my shoot, accessories, things like that. So I guess, yeah, just communicate with your client, see if they have specific tastes. If they don't, they do. They just don't know it.
right.
Speaking from
Yeah.
experience as a client,
yeah.
That's
if people
absolutely
ask me
true.
like,
And
"What do you want?" and I'm like, "Oh, I don't
hopefully
know."
if they've reached out to you, it means they already like they reached
What you
out to
do.
you
You can
because they
assume
liked
that.
what it is not something you should assume, but is often the case.
Well,
Yeah.
I always come through people's portfolios
Yes.
pretty meticulously, and then the reason I select that person is typically maybe 5 of my favorite photos that they've produced, and I will show them their own work. And I'll say, especially if they're a photographer that has a wide variety of color grading and atmospheric styles, I'll show them my favorite pieces that they've produced. And I'll say, like, I'm hiring you because this photo is everything I want. Like, it's so excellent.
From a client standpoint, if everyone could come to me like that, that would be amazing, because then I would know what I'm doing, like to almost to a T going into it, where it's just like, oh, you like that, okay, I know explicitly how to do that.
Those photos you took of Sarah in her Zelda armor set in the Golden Fields, I'll book you for exactly that, Andrew.
That was so impromptu.
I know Lou asked the most important question is, who is your daddy and what does he do?
What's that in reference to? Please help.
It is.
I don't even know what that means.
It is in reference to Kindergarten Cop, a classic Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
I was like, I know this is a Kindergarten Cop reference, but I still don't have any idea what that means.
I heard the accent and I was like, I don't remember that line from Terminator. Which is the only movie I've seen with him.
You mean Terminator? I love Terminator.
Wow. Yeah, Terminator.
But keep those questions rolling in, guys. I haven't seen a new one in a little bit. Except for, have you seen Cats?
Ew, no.
No. I've seen.
I haven't seen Cats.
I've seen the real musical, and that was enough. Yeah, it was enough.
Oh, but I'll if you guys don't have questions, I'll have to like pull from my list of things that I had saved. Don't make me do that, guys. There we go. What movie are you most looking forward to seeing once they are released?
I was not a big moviegoer in general, but I'm curious about Mulan. Not gonna lie.
I am curious about Mulan. I know it's controversial, but the trailer makes it look dope as fuck.
No, the trailer when he was like, I have 2 daughters, like, I'll go, and he was just gonna like serve, I cried because
I cried too. Oh my god!
About dads, and I'm especially emotional about Asian dads because my dad is Thai, and I like even small representation, people that remind me of him, like he would absolutely do that for me. And I'm like, no, Dad, I'll go to work for you. I'll cut my hair off. Anyway, no, I'm excited to see that movie. I'm gonna see it no matter what. I never heard there was controversy about it, so don't tell me. I don't want to know. I want to see the movie.
It's whatever, but it has like major like crouching tiger, hidden dragon feels to it. I feel like I think it was like the second trailer that they released, and I was like, this looks dope as fuck. I can't wait to see it. I can't believe they're still releasing it in theaters though. I think that's kind of dumb, but
I don't know if like I don't really get excited for movies. Doesn't mean I
you're just a bucket of fun.
Thanks. What can I say? More in the case of like I don't really anticipate them. There's not like many that I'm like, oh my god, this one's coming out, I need to see it. Mostly because actually I don't really care about going to movie theaters. I don't
like going to them with friends.
I much prefer watching movies at home.
Yeah, I mean I do too, but
Premiere in theaters.
What?
Yeah, I saw it 4 times.
I did see premiere in theaters.
Yeah, that reminded me why I see movies in theaters.
So
like that was really cool.
I'm also kind of an audiophile and a visual butthole person, so I have got my like surround sound set up and my
person.
Yeah.
Don't say visual butthole.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant. You just took it away.
No, you said it wrong.
I'm sorry, okay?
I'm scared.
Now that we know that about you.
Right.
What's the next question?
I can't function now.
I was gonna say though, not that it has any sort of release date. Whenever Miyazaki ever puts out his last film, which God knows if that'll even happen, but
I'm gonna be fucking dead before that happens.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
dang.
I don't know, man. I have very low expectations.
I like seeing movies in theaters because Anthony indulges himself in like an extra large bucket of buttery popcorn. And I just like the experience of him walking up to like the teenage like popcorn person, you know, that puts it in the, and he goes up and he's like, I need butter on the bottom, I need butter in the middle, and I need butter on top. And I'm like, we need to bring our own sticks of butter and just like melt them in his van. Confident. No, but the guy, the teenager who, like, you know, who does it is always like, oh no, like I get it, man. This is like popcorn without the butter. Like they're never upset. They're always just like same. Like it's the only way to eat it.
It's probably the only excitement in their day. Let's be real here.
Oh my God.
Apparently, there's a name for that specific movie popcorn order.
What?
But I don't remember. Like when you had the butter in layer, like all 3 layers.
Layered?
There's like a name for it.
Oh.
Stop it! That's not a cool name. That's just an adjective.
Oh my God. Boys.
So this one was asked, I believe, by Kengar, which is what games have you all been playing lately? And I know
Animal Crossing.
Not Animal Crossing.
I'd already said Rocket League, but if you guys have been jumping in.
I played. Angie knows this. Oh boy, I played The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh,
okay.
God. Woof.
That's all I'll say.
I strongly disagree with your woof statement, but I respectfully disagree is what I would say.
Chat
No
says
spoilers. No spoilers.
No, yeah, no
Yeah, I
spoilers.
said no spoilers.
No spoilers. That is totally fair.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
Because
Aara's reveal is just a treat to read.
It's hard because like that game is almost impossible to talk about without like deep spoilers. Like you just can't.
Yeah, you literally cannot.
Yeah, I tried.
We won't talk about it.
I tried.
As someone who doesn't even play and knows, just don't even.
I tried during the stream to talk about it, and like you just can't. You can't talk about that game without like massive spoilers.
Yeah, I literally messaged you in the middle. I was like, you probably should be like,
yeah,
spoiler warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been playing Polybridge 2 on stream. If any of you guys have caught that.
That was satisfying to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Like,
I don't know why, but it was.
It's like one of the. It's like almost like a. I know I started playing it because I was watching streamers play it, and it's the kind of game that that you think. Like, if you watch someone else play it, you're like, I can do that. I'm so like, I know exactly. And then you play it, and you're like, wow, I'm actually really dumb. I just thought I was smart, but I'm actually dumb. So, but
Andrew, literally the entire time you were playing it, my brain was like, triangles.
Yeah.
Oh God.
There's one game that I want to stream that I just found out about it. I think it was like. What I think it's called Metal Wolf Chaos, I think it's called. And it was an old Xbox game that just got remastered, I think like late last year, and I just found out about it. And it is the most insane sounding game ever. It's a Japanese made game where you are the US president piloting a mech robot who is fighting against the vice president, who is also in various mechs, and it has the most Japanese English dialogue imaginable. It is.
Is it English?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's got like it's got like the best worst voice acting, and it's just like It's everything you want in a terrible video game that's still like good. So
Well, great. You should stream it next week.
I've been debating on doing that. So yeah, I probably will.
Sounds awful.
It sounds like exactly the right kind of awful. Next question here is what is the next level you're going for with your cosplay or photography?
I don't work in levels.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I just do what I like.
I'm stuck on level 22.
I mean, that's the level. That's the level. My focus is to just do things that I love, not necessarily what is hype or what people expect of me. I'm just gonna do like, you know what? Whatever.
I'm on level 22. I've been finding experience points a little hard to gain lately, but maybe I'll make it up to level 23 soon.
Yeah. I'll make a cosplay and then the next cosplay I'll wear some clothes from a thrift store and call it a day. Like, it just depends on the character.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because like I kind of threw out my cosplay photography goals for this year. Like I'm not going to be able to grow in the way that I would have without this. So, yeah, whatever. Yeah. I've kind of like maybe I was sad about it before, but I'm kind of over it already. Where it's like, well, you know, there's other things I can focus on. My life doesn't have to be centered around this thing always. Like, this is a hobby, and sometimes there's gonna be times where I'm not doing it, and this year is gonna be a time where I really don't do much cosplay photography. So, you know what? It's probably gonna actually set me back more than anything else. But you know, that's sometimes how it goes.
Like, your goals don't necessarily need to be achieved like within a year.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, no. I know one of my goals this year as a cosplayer was to force myself to sew more and get better at I fucking hate sewing. I hate it. And so I really wanted to get better at it this year just so I could have like a better understanding of like the basic foundation of sewing a garment. And obviously that's not happening because I have absolutely no drive to sew. And that's okay. So, I mean, that just means next year or whenever I feel like I'm mentally capable of doing that, that'll do it. But, you know, I think the idea that, like, you have to set a preset of goals every year and then achieve them by the end of the year is unrealistic at worst and ambitious at best. Things are crazy right now.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to edit differently and try different things like that. Like that's I'm still focused on that, even though like my options are limited as far as like getting new photos, but I feel like there's things that I can improve on and figure out in this time frame where I can like adjust and when those shoots come up again, eventually I'll be ready. So
I can't wait. Because I like your editing style, so I'm interested to see where it goes.
Thanks, that means a lot from you.
Oh man, thank you.
This question was
there was a...
Go ahead.
You're probably gonna say what I was gonna say.
No. I was gonna move on, so go ahead.
There was a question I liked.
Go ahead.
Oh man, I don't know where it is.
That's how much you liked it.
Yeah, I found it. What is your favorite quality of the best photos you've taken? Best not meaning most successful. And I think that works for all four of us because you can share the best qualities of your photos and I can share the best qualities of your photos.
The best qualities of my...
I think this is one of those interesting questions where I think it's easier from outside yourself to answer. Yeah. Like, I think I would have an easier time answering for both Sarah and LA than I would for myself.
I think for LA, the first set that comes to my mind is the Aerith shoot that you did with Beth. I love those photos.
I also would agree. That's what comes to my mind when I was picturing
immediately. Like, those photos just, I don't know where the hell that was shot, but like the environment is perfect. Beth looks great. I love the color grading that you use. The lighting is perfect. Like, yeah. Those, like, when I think of your photos now, it's those photos. For a while, it was the, oh my god, what's the Jillian? It's like the one movie I've like fallen asleep during. It's Castle in the Sky.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the Castle in the Sky photos, those are great. But when you released that set of Beth, I just was like, damn, those are great. And I feel like that's when you really started changing kind of more. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know, your narrative style just like really peaked. Like it started really just not even peaked, it just started just like escalating up with that set.
That's that was the beginning, like the beginning of my like this is where it starts. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That does mean a lot coming from both of you. It really does.
I love that set. Like whenever I see them, I'm just like, man, this is a great set. And just like you guys work so well together, and it really shows, I think, in those photos. Like you're comfortable with each other. You guys clearly had some kind of like end goal and vision in mind, and I don't know. I love those photos.
So Sarah, for you, I don't know, and this probably speaks more to my memory being shit. There's not any singular photo that pops into my head, but like more when I think about the qualities of your photos, you deal with saturation and colors in a way that is so unique and utterly yours. Where like
really? Because
yeah.
I don't think it is.
Oh,
at
totally,
all.
totally. Like I look at a photo, I will immediately know if that's a Sorority-Days.
It's like that's a Sarah
I
right
couldn't
there.
agree more.
Yeah.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my god! I don't think I have a distinct anything.
You've got a way of like. I feel like with my own photos, I have like a fight against saturating too much because I feel like it makes my photos
know
look.
when it's your photo.
Yeah, I think
know
that's the thing that's like easy to tell with when it's not you. It's like one of those weird things. But like your photos, you really have a knack for having very high saturation that works, but also it really stands out because you put like different colors next to each other that are really strong, whether it's like greens and yellows or blues and reds, and you pair them up so that they really pop more than they would if they were just that singular color. And that's something that really sticks out for me with your work.
No lie,
Thank
like
you.
whenever I look at your photos, yeah, like I remember seeing this photo of Stella as Yuffie years ago.
Oh yeah.
And being like, I want to shoot like Sarah.
Oh,
I mean,
so
legit, like I've said this plenty of times, but legit, you've always been like, before I even met you, you were like the person that I looked up to for photographically in the cosplay world. And interestingly enough, most of those people that I looked up to in the cosplay photography world, I don't look up to anymore, and for various reasons. Whether it's that the quality of their work is like they didn't continue to grow, or maybe it just never was what I thought it was. But like your work has continued to grow, and you've continued to be a constant inspiration for me in my own work. I'll interrupt.
I'm gonna cry, but whatever, it's fine.
I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, but Tom Yolan, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate it. Hell yeah. Sorry if I
before
butchered.
you get away from us, Andrew. There's this one aqua photo you did years and years ago that I like look at, and I'm just like,
I know the photo.
Which one?
Everyone talks about that one. It's the one that's of Paulina. I'm guessing. Yes.
Oh yeah, the ones of Paulina are fucking great. I was like, which aqua? There's so many.
It's so funny because that one makes me laugh every time because I wasn't gonna take it. I edited that, the first one I did of that set, I edited on stream, and I wasn't gonna take it that blue, and chat was
That's
like,
right. I
take
watched the stream. I remember it.
Take it bluer, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, and like your style more recently has turned toward like almost like darker and very like I wouldn't say darker, but like it's definitely
I've
there's
gotten
It's
there's like
moodier.
I've gotten
yeah,
moodier
but
with my
different
edits lately.
edits, and I think that's like it's been really really fantastic to look at, especially the ones recently of the mermaid on the waterfall was one that was
Oh
just
my god, of Lacey, don't even get me started. So good.
I see those and I look at those and I just am like utterly in awe of Lacey in those photos because
I don't
like
like, yeah.
we shot that at East, Costog and East at
It
like
was early, right?
it was like 9 in the morning,
yeah.
9:30, 10:30 or 10 like sometime around
Wait,
there. It
how did
was
she walk down to the waterfall on that
she
tail?
could take off the tail.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. I was
But
like, holy shit.
the temperature of that water was
Cold.
frigid.
Yeah.
And
It's cold.
I was just like I was constantly like, well, yeah, you don't have to do this if you don't want. And she was like, no, I will get in the water. And
Lacey
she was
doesn't
like
give
a
a
fucking
fuck.
trooper. I was just like, not even once like did she even show that she was cold. I was just like, holy shit. Yeah, I've never, I don't think, been so amazed with someone while being at the shoot. Like just been like, I don't know how you're doing this. Like this is insane.
Yeah, I mean, I stuck her in the wave pool and she was getting like, I mean, I was like really concerned for the costume because there were so many like really intricate, like hand sewn sequences and like beads. And she was like, no, it's fine. I'm like,
okay.
okay. I agree though. I will second that. I think for the longest time, or at least when you took them, the Paulina photos, no, that one of her where she's like holding the keyblade to her face pretty close and her cape is I think she's holding the keyblade out.
We got a couple.
I can't remember now.
We got a couple.
I like both. No, I like the one where the keyblade is really close to her face. It's like a close-up portrait and she's like looking down kind of. And I really like the one with the cape where it's like super extended.
It's interesting that both that one and the mermaid one are the ones that are kind of like off the top of mind because those are like probably the most saturated I have gotten with my photos. And that's like I said when I was talking about your work, Sarah, is like I have a fear of pushing it too far because I have like this weird like, ooh, I'm gonna make it look crappy kind of thing with like saturation that I often fight.
Honestly, like a lot of my saturation comes from graphic design.
Yeah.
Like web design. Not so I think graphic design is misleading. Web design because graphic design can pertain to print, which is more muted. But I try to adapt like web color palettes, I guess, that are really kind of super saturated or complementary or whatever to photos. Because like that's where people are absorbing them. So I'm getting technical, whatever. But I don't think there's no such thing as pushing it too far, really. As long as it's done with intent, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the fight that I often have internally, and I think that's what makes for good photos is having that fight with yourself.
Yes.
Because it's if you don't do that and you just go crazy, you will end up with shitty looking photos. But if you like have that fight, like, okay, well, I can make this super saturated, but why? Like, does this look good? Why does this look good? Why does this?
I mean,
not
I have at least 3 to 4 versions per photo that I post. Like either one's a little warmer or like a little cooler or one is more saturated. I can't do desaturated. I just don't know what that means, but
I have one set that is like 90% done. That I just keep on mulling over the very last bit of the color grade because I'm just like I part of me wants to commit to taking this like this like emerald green in the shadows, and then I do it and like I think it looks good in some photos and not as good in other photos, and I'm like, but I keep it, but then I tone it back and I'm like, maybe it's not as interesting then. So I have like this fight with myself and I'm not sure. So like I really want to be finished with it because like I'm so close to being done.
you want to know what the secret is?
Secrets there.
Not giving a fuck that it's that it's cohesive. Let me tell you, if you were to take any of my photos and actually put them in like a set based on like the photo shoot session, like I can't even. I think I'm trying to think. I think like the most recent shoot that I did where it is actually cohesive is because I literally shot this person in the same location. So it was hard to like not make it the same coloration. Also, it was literally a 10-minute shoot. So
Yeah.
that's the trick. I know when I was like trying to be like, oh my god, all my photos are gotta be cohesive and feel like a set. I felt like I was restraining myself for like no reason because like who cares? Like the ultimate goal is that the one photo looks good. And if that means one is warmer than the previous one, then so be it. Or if one is moodier than the previous one, then like whatever. I don't know. I think trying to like constrict yourself to like a cohesive set can be bad in my opinion. But that's just me because I color grade every photo from scratch. Because I hate myself.
All right, I don't know if you had anything specific you wanted to add there. Otherwise, I can move on to the next question that I saw.
Everything was pretty much covered. Yeah, that's cute. I liked it.
Jesus Christ.
So this next one was, have you ever had to deal with a client who has tried to haggle with your prices?
No.
Yes. And I say, go look somewhere else because this is my price. That's it. There's no haggling. There's take it or leave it.
Yep, those are the options. I also agree. I have never had a client come to me with that.
Bless your soul.
But if they did, I would be kind of the same thing where it's just like, sorry, it's what it is.
Oh,
my favorite is when someone was like, well, you used to be this price. And I'm like, okay, and? Sorry, it's this price now. I don't know what to tell you.
I think the
What, are you
only
gonna
time
time travel?
We're going to go back to the time when candy was 1 penny.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Ellie. We keep on stuff.
Okay, I'm trying to think the only time I've been haggled or tried to been haggled is like if it's like a special case, like, hi, my wedding is at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, and we only need you for like 3 hours. Like, what's your budget? You know, like
really not how that works with wedding photography, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, like I'm not doing anything on a Wednesday, like I won't go, like I'll be like, all right, I'll wiggle for you just a little bit, but like nothing about
you're gonna go to the you're gonna go to the shoot and wiggle for them.
No, I mean like
just,
they're like,
I know
okay,
what
I need you for 3 hours, and I'm like, I'm not gonna charge them like $3,000 for a Wednesday wedding, you know.
Yeah,
it's that's the only time it's like, but otherwise, as far as cosplay, it's like, this is the price.
Yeah,
that's it. If you want someone else, they're available too. So
sorry.
I think that's the big thing with cons is because I've kind of altered my pricing structure and format a decent amount, because I would, been trying to figure out what I think works best for me for shooting. Because like for a while there, I tried doing a different approach than a lot of photographers were taking, which was I was doing fairly cheaper, shorter, low return shoots. But I found that was like I wasn't enjoying that quite as much because I don't need all that much time to get a good shot. But I think a big part of the experience with shooting with me is also kind of like the hanging out, getting to know each other, having fun. And I felt like that really limited the experience. So like I shifted away from that to, wouldn't call my shoots long. They're half an hour, but 15 minutes is a pretty short period of time. And you can't really get that same experience in that short of a time.
I agree.
Let's see. Keep those questions coming, folks. We got a little bit of time left. Here, so I don't know if there's any favorite Kook-Aid flavor? No. You favorite Kool-Aid flavor? We could go with that, but
Oh.
I have bad news about Kool-Aid. I got Kool-Aid for like the sake of nostalgia, and then I drank it recently, and I'm too old for all that sugar. It was so sad. I was like, how did I drink this as a child? Like, this is completely inedible. Like, I feel sick. Anyway, I'm sure if I added just a splash of some hard liquor, it would have been fine. But
it's kind of funny when you like. There's enough things that like I think as a kid you're just like, I can't believe all these olds are complaining about this, like eating this food and the bad thing that it does to them. They're just being like so lame or just being weak or whatever. And now that I'm that age, I'm just like, no, dude, if I like, I remember being in high school and thinking like, I just like, to go over to a friend's house and drink like 4 Mountain Dews. And now if I drank 4 Mountain Dews, I'm pretty sure my body would rebel against me. Like, no.
A coworker of mine brought up Go-Gurt, which is so disgusting when you think about it.
Go-Gurt,
like,
I ate Go-Gurt, but I still was like, this is weird.
no,
oh, I did too.
Okay,
but like,
listen, the trick to Go-Gurt. Ready for it? Cotton candy Go-Gurt. Hold.
No.
You put them in the freezer.
I know. I still can't. No, I can't do it. Oh my god!
Okay,
when I was thinking about it, I was like, "This is nasty."
I haven't done it since I was a kid, but I'm sure it's bad now. It was fun at the time.
It's gross to
Best
think
Pop
about.
Tarts are hot fudge sundae.
Yeah. Okay. Someone asked Pop Tarts, favorite Pop Tart flavor. I'm like, I will get Pop Tarts about once a year.
I haven't had Pop Tarts in so long. I don't even know what the flavors are.
I'm still
hot fudge sundae.
Wild berry. Wild berry is my go-to if I'm getting Pop Tarts.
Fruit one. What are you? Gotta eat the cake and candy ones.
You're just like
screw
the mirage of this even being some sort of breakfast pastry. This is just dessert.
It is. It's just a cookie.
It's just a cookie. Honestly, probably worse for you than cookies.
Honestly, the sugar content.
People are down with the frozen Go-Gurts, so thanks, chat.
Yeah, I've had frozen Go-Gurt. I preferred it not frozen, but I don't know. I don't want. I genuinely don't want it at all. Like as I've gotten older, like now I'm just like the yogurt I go through is like Greek yogurt, and I'm like trying to imagine kid me eating Greek yogurt, and kid me would probably be like, "What the hell is this disgusting shit?"
I tried a new yogurt over the weekend. It's mango coconut flavored, and it's like a Greek yogurt. It was damn good.
Let's see. There's this. I know this one was asked by. Jesus Christ, I'm bad at scrolling. I'm so sorry. Sakura Starburst. Just asked. Dream shoot. Or the things that you always wanted to try in photography. The whole what?
A full Haruhi Suzumiya group.
Oh, good luck.
That would have been like super easy in like 2007.
Yeah, years ago. But yeah, I only got into the convention scene like 2011. So
yeah,
I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
I still want a full-on holic group from Clamp, Triple X Holic. Those outfits are so fucking dope.
I think the biggest thing, like for the most part, I've shot most of the cosplays that I've wanted to shoot. But to me now, the next step is to be able to shoot like cosplays, not those same cosplays, not at conventions, where it's like I desperately want to shoot a Record of Lodoss War, shoot not at a convention, like,
valid.
Like that's for the most part, like where I can really dig into like I know I talked about it earlier, like Natsume Ujincho, like that shoot would be incredible in the right location, but like the cosplay for that is kind of really bland if you're shooting it at a con. Like it needs the very specific things to make it work and make it awesome. And
Is that the one with that cat?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you can't shoot that at a con.
No, it's at a con. It would be totally unexciting and boring. But like, you kind of need to be in the countryside somewhere and like you really dig into the feeling that that show has, and that would be wonderful.
Well, time to just fly to Japan
Get on a plane.
and
I
not
have
get
You
stared at
crazy?
because
That
photographing
I have-
cosplay in public is actually bad there. But anyway,
What was that, Ara? Sorry.
I have dream shoots not taking them but modeling them.
yeah.
Hire someone.
Yeah.
An avatar group. Like major dream. I want to book someone for that and like an
It's so
online
real.
But I want like action shots. Like
Oh.
big time dreams, hard as shit to, achieve because
Mhm.
we can't do martial arts. We need somebody on set basically to pose us and help us out.
Oh, just ask my friend Zach.
Yeah, exactly. Well, right?
He knows
Exactly.
He knows all four forms.
Yep. So we'll get him.
Yep.
And then I also want, personally, I really want to cosplay. I have something that I'm sketching out, an original Saria design from Ocarina of Time. And I want, my dream shoot is to photograph that, but among giant trees. Like I'd have to travel.
So the redwoods in Seattle.
So more green.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, more green.
again,
Screw
Again,
those
just
redwood
coincidence.
trees. I need greenwood trees.
Just hit me up and we'll fly to Seattle and shoot in the redwood forest.
I think the
And then
other
the
thing
last
for me.
one-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
The last one is super self-indulgent, and
think
I
that's-
either want to cosplay the tuning exams all as Genin, or well, to be
Oh,
tuning.
hell
you know?
yeah.
Right? I want to be Gara really bad.
I mean-
will
Really?
get rid
I
of
mean,
Oh
the
my God, I love
idea of dream shoots is like entirely self-indulgent. So
yeah.
Oh, come on, the tuning exams. Like, I want to be Gara. I want like to have sand like cracking off my face. And then my other same theme is an Akatsuki group. Like,
Oh
like
my God,
real-
please. Wait, who would you
Akatsuki
be?
Sasori.
Sasori, I knew it. I was like, you'd be
Yeah.
Sasori.
Puppet. I want to be. I want to be a puppet master who's also a puppet. But anyway, that's self-indulgent because I don't want the Akatsuki shoot to look anime-esque. I want it to look very dark and moody and like
real.
real like mafia-esque, you know?
Oh my God, mood.
Yeah. So these are my dream shoot ideas.
I'm
I think-
obsessed.
for me, just in general, like, it's kind of funny because I feel like the con scene is, in terms of like video games, way more accepting of older stuff. Like, we see a lot of like classically revered video games be cosplayed a decent amount, but for anime, you don't really see that nearly as much. I feel like anime is like newest, latest, best most of the time. And for me, it's just like I just want to see more like 90s, 2000s stuff.
Oh man, a dream shoot though, now that you've mentioned that, is a cosplayer. It's really not that old, but I really want to do a wedding Nia and Simone group or shoot. Oh, Zach and I did that kind of like just casually for fun one like Thursday of KatsuCon like years ago, and it was really fun. But I would just die to like do that for real. I think that would be, oh my God, that'd be great.
Yes.
It's kind of funny in a way because like when I think back of it, like I have memories of going to cons and being like, Gurren Lagann is the biggest thing ever. I can't imagine like going to a con and not seeing like a million cosplayers from Gurren Lagann. And now I'm like, like hype to see one.
Yeah.
I will bring back
thank
Simone as many times as you want. Literally, I will live in that costume.
Please. Wait, can we actually do Simone and Nia for real instead of just like casually at a local con? Because I want to redo Nia's so bad, and we're the it's not that I give a shit, but
anytime. Gurren Lagann is my soul and my heart, and I feel those flames inside me. We can do it anytime.
if anyone still doesn't get my username, get with it anyway.
And everybody that's commenting in chat about like also doing these dream shoots, like, yes, please do Naruto with me. Please do Avatar with me. Like, yes, everything.
I was literally just talking to Joe today about doing Avatar because he wants to do Sokka. I would die.
Let's we got one pretty easy question here, which I think is kind of funny. What do you eat at cons?
Yes.
Is that just your answer, LA? Yes.
It depends what con I'm at.
Yeah.
I
So
don't.
if it's
Coffee.
if it's at the Kalahari, for whatever reason, there's nothing to eat at that place. So I usually pack food in advance for the weekend in a cooler, like a mom.
Oh shit, we're preparing. LA's got the I have opinions hands. Just to
Okay.
Yeah, oh god.
Please
Don't
don't
judge us,
eat
LA.
because I think Sarah and I have this toxic con food habit where it's like, oh yeah, coffee, and then like for me it's like maybe a Caesar salad by 9 p.m.
Oh no, I eat now at cons, let me tell you. I'm fucking cranky if I don't
hold
eat.
on. LA's got
There's a
shit.
way- there's a way to approach this, right? So like
Okay.
for local cons, when I have my kitchen at hand, right, I will literally do meal prep and carry a thermos with me to the convention with proper food.
Shut up,
So that-
really?
No, dead serious.
Oh my
Like
god.
I refuse to eat con food. But
Can I pay you?
It's
Making
the hunger
food.
service. You have to pay for the hunger service.
I don't do delivery. But
Look, mister.
actually, you know who has had my convention food at a con? Nifty's head. Because I've
Well,
like
of course you have.
I mean, I brought food to Hall Mat. And I was
Like y'all are both in Florida, that literally doesn't count.
But as far as like if I'm at like KatsuCon, I will literally pack like 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in my backpack just so I'd like if I start getting hungry, like I'm like, all right, gotta just like mash one down,
Yeah.
or I'll like buy Uncrustables. Like I don't know what's about Uncrustables. I like Uncrustables. But
No, I mean at a con, like at CostaCon, like I have to carry snacks with me. So
Yeah.
it's like usually I always have like either like a banana or like an apple, and then have some kind of like usually like nuts of some kind, just because it's like they're filling. And then I don't like the way they taste, but their filling are the stupid Cliff Bars.
Yep.
Just because they'll sustain me enough.
I've switched off of Cliff Bars to RX bars.
Wait, what?
RX bars.
Like RX, like the letters.
Yes.
don't think I've
Really
ever
enjoy those.
I will
Both my
say,
wife and I switched off.
after the sun has gone down,
Huh.
all bets are off. So I'm gonna get pho. I'm gonna get freaking Korean barbecue.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that's where the food is happening. Is after, but
Once
before
dinner
the
time?
morning, yeah.
Yeah.
No, dinner time is like no joke. It's like barbecue, like American barbecue, Shake Shack, Korean barbecue. Oh my god, I have like costume off, wig off, contacts out, time to gorge.
I think the thing to me, like, I definitely I will neglect food and just snack for most of the con. The thing for me with dinner when it comes to con is I don't depends on the con. I don't generally like to go to an experience where I'm like, okay, this is going to involve me leaving the con for more than like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Like, because I'm there to be at the con, and yeah, I'm there to be with friends, but like to me, I'm just like, I would rather just grab something super simple than spend like that much time away from the con. I am a weird person though, because like I very much enjoy food, but like I'm not that much of a foodie, and like food isn't what I care about at cons. Like as long as I can be with my friends, if I can like grab like it's nice to have good food, but like at the same time I'm like if I could just get like a shitty burger to slam down, but I'm doing it with my friends, I'm like happy with that too. So
Yes.
Like my opinion changes depending on whether I'm doing both at the same time. So, because I'll do photography and cosplay at the same time, and obviously I'm like twice as hungry if I do both. But I mean, I agree with you because like I'm a really big foodie, but I think usually because like, I mean, friends will usually come out and they're like, I don't even have Korean barbecue, like where I'm from, and I'm like, well, then of course, and we can go get Korean barbecue or hot pot or like whatever. But I do agree because I do feel like I'm like, oh, I don't want to because I'm gonna like miss nothing.
yeah, I know. In the end, you probably aren't gonna miss out on much, but like it's just the
Yeah,
idea that I might miss out on something.
exactly. I understand you completely.
So the best food time I've had at a con was actually YetiCon, because the village had such a diverse variety of restaurants. So one day, in the morning we would do like breakfast poutine. That was just grab and go. And then for lunch we would
Oh
get
my god.
tacos at a Mexican place. And then for dinner we would do like sushi or whatever, and it was super super fun because everybody could get what they wanted, and it was very accessible. We could just walk from restaurant to restaurant, so that was a foodie con for me, and it was Canadian money. So I was like, oh my god, I can go and do Korean barbecue and my bank account is unaffected. Gotta love going to Canada. No, sorry, Canadians.
um
It was really fun.
no, I think the one like that's changed for me a lot is ASEN. That con used to have no food by it. Like I genuinely mean that, where like the first several years that I went to that con, there was a McDonald's that was like a 3 block walk away, and that was the closest food.
Give me
Um
them nuggies.
so pretty much everyone went to McDonald's. Like everyone at the con went to that McDonald's. That McDonald's was like just a shit show. Um but
I hate McDonald's.
I I'm
It
not
makes me
saying I
so
like
sick.
McDonald's, but it was the pretty much the only place you were going. There was no other options pretty much. But since then, that con's like gotten so much better food wise. But the biggest thing is there's been a huge area that was like maybe 2 blocks away now that has like probably like this big like circle area that has maybe like 12 restaurants or something, and it's just so much easier to get food now. So now I'm like almost always grabbing dinner with friends at one of the different restaurants, and it's just like so much easier now.
I'm hungry. I'm
Not,
like
yeah, no,
so
talking
hungry.
about food,
Why
I'm
do we
like,
do this?
yeah. Normally,
Yeah.
normally the experience, like, I'm used to having experiences with LA where I'm end up getting hungry, but usually it's not my own streams.
Talking about
Sorry.
food.
Oh, I want Thai food. Chat is talking about about Thai food, and I'm hungry.
I
um,
just want hot pot. That's literally all I've been thinking about for like 4 months.
okay, well, I think that's a good place as any to wrap it up for the night. Now that we're all hungry.
And it's time to make midnight Sindaboo.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much, Sarah, LA, and Aara, for hanging out with me and having fun. I appreciate you guys. Especially since I put this together probably a little later than last minute than I normally do. So I appreciate you guys. And thank
Just a
you,
little.
audience, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Thanks for giving us lots of questions.
What? That emote! Oh my god!
Yeah, you got the hunger service with
Amazing.
this awesome emotes. I the amount of emotes you get as a partner versus an affiliate drives me nuts. I'm like,
Really?
Yeah.
You have a
Oh.
emotes.
Yeah. Yeah, LA, what you probably have like 25, something like that.
Yeah.
God, I didn't realize it was that much more.
And then they just added more for tier 2 and tier 3, and I was just like, oh, that's really cool. And I think that's a partner only thing for right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, you motherfuckers, why do you even send me that email? I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I can't even think of 25 that we would want. Just dogs.
I have so much more I want to do. I'm just like,
oh yeah, I've got a bunch that I have thoughts of.
Give us money.
Yeah. Speaking
I'm
of
kidding.
sub badges up in that corner there, you see the goal. I'm working towards sub badges. So if you've been enjoying, consider donating. Links in underneath the stream for how to donate. Trying to get towards sub badges. But thank you guys for hanging out and being in chat with us, especially all of those you who are contributing to the stream. You guys are awesome. We love you.
when's the next stream you're doing?
Yeah, next stream. So I'm going to play some games on Thursday, or editing. I don't know, one of the two, gaming or editing. We'll figure it out. We'll see how I feel on Thursday. What I'm craving to do.
Andrew's gonna come over to my Animal Crossing island and water my flowers again.
Yo,
I'm kidding.
Lola Vega, thank you for those 100 bits. Appreciate it. Andrew got games on his phone. I literally have 0 games on my phone. I'm not joking at all. Oh my God, the Hunger Service donated $5. What a wonderful human. Aw, shucks. Thank you. Thanks, my dude. Yeah, if you've been enjoying
island
things
tour
here,
once I get my shit together, which is never.
I don't either this Tuesday or next Tuesday we're gonna do have another stream like this. We might try and I'll see. I want to get into this new modified critique thing for where we're not gonna have as many new photo opportunities, so I want to have it a little bit more casual. So I'm trying to think about how to do things there. So we'll see. It might be that we're figuring things out, but either way, there'll be a stream next Tuesday as well. But the soonest one is going to be on this Thursday. Probably the same time, so 7 p.m. Central Time. If you've been enjoying the stream, consider dropping a sub. If you have Twitch Prime, that means you have opposite of that. If you have Amazon Prime, you're just like, no. What a scrub. Let the pro in.
Look at the pro.
If you have Amazon Prime, you can connect your Twitch account for free and subscribe to your favorite channel once every 30 days. Connect your Amazon Prime to your Twitch account and stick it to Papa Jeff.
I love the Papa Jeff part. Friendly reminder with that, you need to redo that every month. It doesn't auto go. Because I know I've had people been like, I'm Amazon Prime though, and I'm like, yeah, but you need to redo it every month. It's free money. It's free money they give you. But if you don't have the means to sub right now, that is 100% okay. I get it. We're in a pandemic. I don't expect anyone to be giving me their money. That said, if you don't have that right now, just tell a friend. I would say, I used to say tell a friend in person, but
please don't do that.
Don't do that. So just tell someone about the stream. Let them know that you enjoy it and that maybe they might. So I'd appreciate it. I think let's see who is going right now that we can raid you over to. See who's going. Okay, so Vicky is going right now. She's playing some Animal Crossing, so I think I'm gonna raid you guys over to her right now.
Fuck yeah! What is she doing in Animal Crossing?
It looks like she's working on her island. So Vicky
God, that anxiety. I cannot imagine live streaming that. Me digging the same fucking thing over and over because I suck at aiming.
Vicky's a cosplayer from Florida, so I don't know how local she is to you, LA, but you're like not.
I'm not.
Like which Vicky? There's so many fucking Vickies.
Florida's a big state, man.
It is a big state.
Well, I'm gonna raid you guys over there. If you got emotes, use them to say hi. Thank you guys for hanging out. Click this. Hold on, let me get this raid up. I'm sorry. That raid. Thank y'all, and as always, think about what you put out into the world. Make it a better place. Good night, everyone.